Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to tradertv.live. We start once again this morning with breaking economic numbers. The November non-farm payrolls number just out. 469,000 expected, comes out 245,000 on the increase side. So a miss there of about 224,000. I'll direct your attention down the list here a little bit. The unemployment rate does improve slightly, 6.7% versus a 6.8% expectation. So again, November non-farm payrolls to start the show this morning, 469,000 expected. Well short of that, 245,000 actual number there. So we are seeing a little bit of a dip, it would look like, in the futures at this point. We have lots to get through this morning. We're going to talk about a number of EV makers once again back in the news. The Chinese EV makers back on the move this morning. We saw that huge sell-off late in the day yesterday, led by Pfizer shares after they cut their 2020 vaccine manufacturing projection in half. So Pfizer shares back on the watch again this morning. Lots to get to in the next hour before the market opens. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. It's Friday, December 4th, 2020. TraderTV.live starts now. There's a look at Asian markets from the overnight session. You can see a bit of a mixed story here. We have Japan lower, everything else nicely higher, including Shanghai and Hong Kong back in positive territory. Let's go over to Europe, see how things are shaping up so far throughout the European landscape. Yeah, more mixed numbers here. Germany downside. We have Sweden in negative territory. Everything else, though, nicely higher to start the last day of the trading week. Let's go through to North America and see how the futures are reacting to this number. Yeah, we're still in positive territory. Did have a bit of a spike to the downside, but looks like we are bouncing a little bit here. Back to positive territory. The TSX futures here in Toronto pointing to higher open. We have Brazil open already trading up about 1%. Bitcoin downside again this morning. Both crude oil and gold in positive territory. So there we go, guys. It is Friday morning. Welcome. Good morning. We're talking jobs. That was a bit of a miss for that number. About 224,000, as we said, on the short side, although the unemployment rate does improve there. So interesting start to the day here.
Yeah, I actually just saw the ES shoot down like 8 handles and then come right back. So yeah, pretty much back to where it was like minutes before we had that number roll out. Somehow it's a sweater day. I brought one and I'm freezing over here. Sean and Brennan both keep themselves warm. But it's rounding out an interesting week to say the least. Obviously, you got some names that are going to be moving around today. We'll be looking back at the EV space, Li Auto with a share offering. You had a couple more tech companies, Cloudera and DocuSign, of course, with their earnings, and those were big ones. And some interesting movers today. This is one of our traders on the floor actually found this one. So I didn't realize it happened, but this is it's too entertaining for me not to point this one out here, guys. Look, this chart, trust me when I tell you, there's little spicks of volume the last few days on this stock, LRGR on the OTC. And yes, a 10-cent stock went to $3.50. Why? Because it shares a name with LAZR. So one is Luminar Media Group. This is over on the OTC. And then there's Luminar Technologies, which is up 20%. For the second day in a row on the NASDAQ. And yeah, this is why, look, honestly, if you're people, I'm dumbfounded that this keeps on happening where you get a similar symbol on a different exchange, which will go up this much. It's still actually holding up 70 cents. So 7x, this is still up because of another company moving. It's crazy, Sean, but there was this happened, was it years ago with Tesla? Maybe a couple of years ago?
No, the one I remember was Twitter. There was
Twitter,
okay. Twitter where it was like Twitter was IPOing or something, and there was a stock called TWTT or something where people were confused about the symbol, and it started ripping like crazy, and yeah, people got caught up in the wrong stock. So look, I mean, all it talks about is due diligence. I mean,
yep.
you gotta before you push enter on your buy orders, guys. Make sure that you're trading the right stock. And hopefully we do that here on the show and we teach you. If you're joining us for the first time, it's going to be about education. It's going to be about the watch list, which here, I'm going to show it to you right now quickly. We're going to go over this in a couple of seconds. We do have Mark Roberts coming today. But here's our morning movers watch list, watchlist.tradertv.live. Cloudera will be talking about that, DocuSign. Everything's on here, guys. Boeing was a big banger yesterday as well. LI, XPEV, NEO. They're all here. So make sure you sign up for that. And important note as well, if you're not able to get it, we did realize, and we don't mind saying this because down with Microsoft right now. It's my favorite stock, but apparently we're being marked as spam through some Hotmail. So definitely, and live Hotmail, whatever is a Microsoft back end there. So definitely check that out if that's what you're using. Check your spam and try to report that it's not to help us get through. But what I was getting at was tradertv.live, Twitter. Valeria is posting all those names there if you can't get the watch list.
It is going to be an exciting Friday morning, guys. We have lots to get through. I want to show you this first. Coming up a little bit later on in the show, we're really happy to welcome Mountain Valley to the show MD. Mountain Valley MD Dennis Hancock going to join us to talk about Mountain Valley, some exciting developments for them. That's going to be about 11:20 right at the end of the show, so stick around for that. Very excited to have Mountain Valley with us coming up a little bit later on today. Before we get too far, let's get over to the desk and say good morning to Valeria.
Good morning, Brandon, and hello, traders. Happy Friday, everyone. Please support the community, subscribe to our channel, share the link with friends, and smash the like button. Let's get it started, Brandon.
Let's indeed get it started. Let's have a look at how traders here at Day Trade the World fared yesterday. The top 10 traders list, as we like to show every single morning. The NASDAQ coming in here at number 1 yesterday, 31,000. Number 2 as well, 26,000. You can see more U.S. markets here throughout the top 5. Got to go all the way down to number 8 before we get into some Canadian content. CSE here, OTC markets as well. Europe here as well, Dublin, Turkey, Vienna, Thailand. Number 10 there, $599. So another great day for traders here at Day Trade the World. If you're joining us for the first time, guys, welcome. First of all, make sure you hit the like and subscribe to this channel. Guys, we're going to get into everything that's moving around in the pre-market. We come on at 8:30 and talk about all the stocks that are moving around before we get to the open at 9:30 and come up with a bit of a plan as to how we're going to trade these. We had a few earnings reports that came out after market yesterday. We're going to touch on those. I want to start things off, guys, with Pfizer here. We had Pfizer kind of leading the sell-off late in the day yesterday for the overall market after they said, as we mentioned, they're going to cut their manufacturing target in half by 50% from 100 million down to 50 million doses for their vaccine by the end of this year. So they're pointing to lack of availability for some of the components that they're using for this vaccine, and then also some late stage trial results that were delayed as well. But overall, I mean, a bit of a negative story here.
Yeah, I mean, there was some chatter that when they came out originally with these projections on the 9th, that this was something that they actually had talked about. So, I don't know, it felt like when we were watching this happen in the afternoon and the market was cratering to the downside, it was just interesting. It was as if, you know, the bid evaporated on both Pfizer and overall in the ES. But it was interesting to see the ES do a great job of holding the overnight highs, at least initially. And when it comes to Pfizer, it's you probably are in a situation where after that run from, you know, both 35, 36 area, it was probably due for a bit of a pullback, and I think that was some of what might have overextended this, despite the fact that this might not have been too big of a surprise. Definitely going to be watching this name. I think the thing that I took from watching it was just the bid underneath the market. I mean, you can run a list of things that are at all-time highs right now, and I think certainly the indication that, you know, maybe some pullbacks could be a little bit deeper and you can be a little more patient with them might have been a hint when I looked at the futures, especially the ES falling there. And there was also an interesting note from one of our traders, actually a manager on the floor here, that 40.15, man, there was like an interesting bounce there and a great shorting opportunity off of that 40.15, which also happens to be today's pre-market high. So better believe I'll be watching that level on Pfizer today.
I want to say a big thank you to Miss Debbie Williams. Thank you for becoming a member. And guys, it's just supporting the show. It's $5, $4.95 a month. And we're going to be doing, it's not this Monday, I guess it's the next Monday. We're going to be doing a one-on-one with you guys, all four of us, me, Valeria, Neil, and Brendan. Ask us whatever you want. That's the benefit there. And thank you so much, Miss Debbie Williams, for becoming a member and joining the club. Over 1,000 members, I believe, now. We'll get that number to you. It's a quiet Friday right now, and we'll look at Pfizer. A few more names coming up on the watch list. I don't have much else to add to that, so it's a couple key levels there on Pfizer. Watch 39.50, guys.
As far as other vaccine or possible vaccine plays go, we did see Moderna have quite the move yesterday as well, getting back up into that recent high territory on the strength throughout the entire group. So Moderna going to be back on watch this morning. Also, as Sean mentioned a little bit earlier, guys, we're going to get into the watch list coming up in about 10 minutes. We have our friend Mark Roberts standing by from Sun Lake Strategies to get his opinion on what to look for this morning throughout the morning session. Before we get too far ahead of things, just a quick opinion, guys, on Tesla. We're going to talk about EV makers coming up here. We had a number of different individual news stories as far as EV makers are concerned, but we had the price target from Goldman, the upgrade from Goldman yesterday. Didn't really do much. We're sitting here this morning again. Tesla, again, not really doing a heck of a lot.
I mean, the EV, I don't know. I'll hit the Tesla graphic because I really like it. If you're joining us for the first time, we have some cool graphics. If I could find it, there it is, Tesla. Okay, so Tesla right now, I think the problem with a lot of these stocks is the EV space is, and again, I don't know, there's so many puns here, but it's lost a little bit of gas here, I think, a little bit in the EV space there. You've seen Tesla lose a little bit of momentum, and by that, I mean, it's still fine. And we go up yesterday on that upgrade, right? 564 upgraded near 600 yesterday, and you come in today and you're still near 600. So I don't think there's much wrong with Tesla or the idea behind some of these EV names. I think XPEV, Li Auto, NIO, those are all a little different because of China and some of the rhetoric about delisting and have to comply and whatnot. We know that's not a problem for the big dog up here. Elon Musk talking about souffle and stuff like that, maybe getting people hungry. But I don't know. I still like a 600 break. I know the all-time high is about 604 or so. So I think we could get to that. It's just we need the NASDAQ to go a little bit. And then like even yesterday's a little puke at the end of the day there, starting off about 5:30, it says 15:30, 3:30. It didn't even drop that much. Like Pfizer came out and said that they're going to do that half dose. And look, it only went down $5. So I think Tesla's fine here. I don't know what you think, Neil, but I like a 600 break. We tested it yesterday and didn't get it. So we'll see if it happens today. I'm still plus positive on Tesla here. The
longer the consolidation, the better the break. I mean, was it not the same truth? Well, it wasn't even that long one at 420, but I think we remember 500. I mean, the real 500 we remember 2,000, all these significant numbers on the way up throughout the year. And this feels like after a failed break, multiple days here, I think it's going to be worth that look. Maybe we don't get it this week. Maybe we're looking at this one next week, Sean. But either way, 600 is still on the table. I want to quickly, I just want to talk about this SH trade. We still couldn't find any news. I don't know, Brendan, if you have an update on this, but couldn't find any news on this particular Chinese company. Just started gapping up in the post market and then followed through in the pre-market on what seemed like nothing. It made a triple top pre-market. Now, someone asked me, why are you shorting at $4 with support? I saw that in the chat. It's really about just trying to do a tight stop trade. I saw it come down beneath this low here, that 415. So I wanted to get it in and around that price with a tight stop to wherever the bounce had been. It was like 420, 425. So risk like 5 or 6 cents, and then if it breaks 4, get like a bigger trade out of it, right? So I scalped some off so that even if it came back, I couldn't lose. And now I'm going to hang on the last 40%. I have a target down to 360. Maybe it continues further, get the rest out down around $3. So again, this was going to be a very, very tight stop trade. That's not one that I would have let go to like 460 or high of day. But don't see any news on this one, guys. It just seemed like an obvious sell to me.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye out for HGSH. There's also HX. I included it at the end of that little story on the watch list this morning, guys. There's really not a lot to talk about as far as news with those, but big moves in the pre-market nevertheless. I want to show you this one. We've looked at this stock many, many times on the show. ChemBio down big time this morning. FDA declining to review emergency use application for their COVID-19 test. So big move down here for CEMI, 20%. We're all the way back down to these 550 kind of levels from a couple of months ago anyways, but trying to bounce here anyways, off 550 to 6 for CEMI. Let's bring on Mark Roberts, president of Sun Lake Strategies, and have a discussion on what your thoughts are this morning. Mark, it is going to be an interesting day. That was an impressive bounce off of that number for the futures. We're right back to basically where we were.
Yeah, I think it's old news. Everybody was counting on a good number. A bad number is now being somewhat discounted because we're now dealing with higher COVID numbers and more lockdowns. And everybody is still praying that the Senate and the House come up with a stimulus bill. I'd say the chances are increasing slightly over the next few days, but they've got to get it done in the next few days.
Here, when it comes to that stimulus bill, as far as maybe details or sectors involved, or even a number that will actually make this market get any kind of movement here? $1
trillion to $1.25 trillion, somewhere in there probably. I think Nancy Pelosi realizes she's getting a lot of pushback from her constituents, and she's got to step up to the plate. And every day it goes by, the Republicans are looking slightly better by constantly saying she's thwarting and stopping. I was reading last night that since the summer, the Democrats have halted 36 attempts for a stimulus bill.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting the next few weeks or so to see how this does play out and how the market reacts to it. I want to get your thoughts, Mark, on a couple of rather large IPOs coming up next week. We saw DoorDash out this morning increasing their target price for their IPO. And then, of course, we have Airbnb coming up on Wednesday. Any initial thoughts on either of these?
Well, I think what it does is it fuels investors taking profits in some of their names. Don't forget, we're coming into year end, so people are taking their losses, covering their shorts, and if the IPOs have good underlying stories, I think you'll start to see movement, money coming out of older IPOs, perhaps, if they're back to cost or trading well, or you'll see money covering shorts in stocks like Tesla, which I've noticed in the last few days, and it will move into those newer IPOs.
As a group, we've seen big moves this week throughout the entire week in the energy space. OPEC delaying their latest decision on possible further cuts or decision on which direction to go as far as production is concerned. Is there one or two names here that we should be paying attention to in the energy group?
Probably I'm looking at Chevron, I'm looking at Hess, I'm looking at the larger names that are better, well-positioned, more diversified. I tend not to go down the food chain too much, only because if we get that slippage way back down again, there's always that risk of bankruptcy.
Mark Roberts, president of Sun Lake Strategies, joining us once again this morning. Mark, we'll bring in Neil and Sean here and discuss, I can imagine only electric vehicles because it seems like a daily occurrence around here, but EV names moving once again. Here's the guys.
We can talk other things. Come on.
There's lots of other things.
Good morning, guys. Good morning.
Hey,
Morning.
it's Mr. Mark Roberts in the building, and you know who else is going to be in the building right now, Mark? It's going to be Weed Batman because we have the vote coming up pretty soon here. I don't know. Do we have any idea when? I think is the vote today, the More vote in Congress. But either way, we're going to see here a couple of these cannabis names. I know, Mark, we've gone back and forth on this a little bit in the past. You've given some great analysis regarding some of these names. Is there a particular idea, floating around with some people that you know or up with you here on what to do with ACB or Tilray or Afria? Is it a tradable? Obviously, it's going to be a tradable event once the vote comes through on the federal stage here. See about decriminalization. And I don't know what's going to come of this, but do you have any insights here on what we should do as traders? Maybe play it through options, stay away until we finally find out what the vote is. Any ideas on cannabis?
I think I stay away until the vote. Any sell-offs, I think they're buying opportunities. I think the near-term story remains very strong, but trying to get a jump on something that's going to happen tends not to be a winner most of the time.
Yeah, we saw Tilray. I mean, still some of these stocks like Tilray here, pretty heavily shorted. There's 20 to 30% short interest in most of these stocks. And I just was trying to highlight to some of the traders here, as you're familiar with, $5, you know, the bottom here for Tilray a little while ago. And we spiked all the way to 14 on election. And then we made a little bit of a U shape back here, looking to break through 10. So I'm with you. I'd like to see, 11, 12, some of these highs been taken out in some of these names. For me, though, I'm always going to stay with Canopy, which of course is CGC. Is there maybe a name that you have? I know we look at TrueLeave. I like Grow Generation, which is GRWG, which has been a monster. I call them the Home Depot of the marijuana industry. Is there maybe a little bit of an undercover name at all that's maybe not hitting the mainstream yet that some of our traders should look at?
I tend to stay with the mainstream names. I tend to stay with strong liquidity. CGC would be the play for me.
Yep.
Volume is there. The trading impact of basing, rallying, pulling back, basing, rallying, it's very strong. And I would stick with that kind of a name versus going too far down the food chain unless you have an edge.
Yeah, it's a funny story because my father was looking to get into something, and I gave him CGC pre-election, so he was really happy with that. There's some people on the chat want to hit this animation, so before I throw it over to Neil, I'll do it. This is our smoking animation there, so we'll blow up today, hopefully when we get some good news on that. Thank you so much, Mark, for your coverage there. I'll throw it over to my good friend, Neil.
Hey, Mark, always good to see you. I feel like I'm going to put you a bit on the spot with this one because correct me if I'm wrong, it was maybe beginning of the year or maybe late last year when there was some takeout chatter for Walgreens that didn't go anywhere. The last couple of sessions on no actual headlines. I mean, there weren't really any headlines at the beginning of this little run here, but 38 to 43, we're putting in almost a full 10% little move here in the last couple of sessions. Now there's some chatter coming through. What can you tell us about this? Obviously, they just got a little competition with Amazon jumping into the pharmacy space, so it kind of feels like that would be a good opportunity. If someone did want to come in, Walgreens came down on that news. What's going on here?
A few things. One, it's crossed the 200-day moving average, very bullish for me. Two, the 50-day is going to be crossing the 100-day over the next week or so. On dips, I'd be a buyer.
Okay, my sentiment was that exactly. I think the difficult thing is to try to figure out who the players are going to be, of course. You can always speculate it. I think people were saying KKR at the beginning of the year, and that didn't happen. And then where the price targets might come in for some kind of a premium. It was all over the place. We saw the last one with CrowdStrike and so not CrowdStrike, with CRM there and Slack. Any targets around here? And obviously we've already made a bit of a premium, but we've seen 15, 20%. This was trading up at 45 very, very recently. So part of me would have to think that it's going to be a little bit better than that. Any thoughts in terms of where this could be headed if something is to get announced?
I would guess probably 52, 55.
Yeah.
I think there's tremendous amount of private equity money sitting on the sidelines. December 4th, a lot of it will have to be used before the end of the year to make their investors pleased that they've put money to work. And strangely enough, so much private equity money of the old money has always bent toward retail. So I'm going to go with there's a good shot that something gets done before the end of the year.
Absolutely. I feel like there better be something here. I actually came in this morning a little bit excited. I thought maybe there'd be a bit of a dip already, but it looks like in the pre-market, the volume is very, very light, so I have to wait for the open. I said maybe I'd be putting you on the spot, but maybe next time I'll actually get you, we'll catch you off guard with something. It doesn't seem like it ever happens, Mark. As always, thank you so much. I'll throw you back to Brennan.
If I can just throw
Sure.
one quick thought out, Tesla, keep in mind the latest numbers that came out. Germany is now buying more electric cars than the state of California, 90,000 to 67,000 over the first 9 months of the year. Very bullish for Tesla in the near term. They're building a plant in Berlin by 2021. Those dips probably will see buyers as we move forward.
I'm trying to get we've been trying to get the 600 break for a couple of days now. We love breakout trades here, obviously, as day traders, because they can be explosive, is the word we'll use here. But yeah, certainly 600 looks good. But there it is. I mean, Mr. Mark Roberts, it's always a pleasure, man. Just a treasure trove of knowledge, my friend.
Thank you so much.
So sledgehammers and soufflés, I guess, on the back burner for the foreseeable future anyways, in your opinion, Mark, when it comes to Tesla. Before we let you go, just wanted to get your thoughts on the airline group. We saw American kind of leading it yesterday, relative strength coming into play for AAL. Again today, we're higher for American on decent volume here in the pre-market.
I stick with three names. I love Southwest Air, LUV. I think Alaska Air and JetBlue, each airline on both coasts, may be in play over the next 6 to 9 months as Southwest Air wants to migrate into either coast. So those are the three names I tend to watch more than any others.
Great stuff. Thanks so much, Mark Roberts, president of Sun Lake Strategies. We appreciate your time as always.
Thank you, sir.
There we go, guys. We'll jump into what is moving around here in the pre-market, starting things off with Cloudera. I want to jump right into Cloudera. Decent earnings report out after market yesterday for this company, trading higher here. It was the forecast that kind of blew things out of the water as well for CLDR. Guys, a little bit of a lower price stock, but in the right group, I guess, for this time, and decently strong here.
Coming back a little bit here, but not much. Yeah, so look, it's already broken out. We looked at this yesterday. We talked about it trying to get through 12. It's doing that now here. It did it yesterday. Obviously, I don't know if someone knew about it, but 11:30 yesterday up to 12:50 close, and then today you're up to 13. I would still like to see these tops being taken out, which is 14. I don't think we get there. This is a one-day chart here, so it's a nice little move. You can have some bottoms here, 12.50. I think it's definitely worth a long into 12.50. What I was saying here is that it's come up. It's not really come back. I did see it up here at 13.20, so I was a little surprised to see it back down. But 12.80, the bottom here in the pre-market, doing not bad. I mean, we still have 35 minutes to go, and you're approaching 1 million shares on the day here. So Cloudera is still interesting to me. Not, numbers besides the point. They did beat, which is obviously why we're up 11%. It doesn't seem like it's a monster beat here, but I think going through 13 should work. Let's just check here if there's anything on the imbalance locator. No, a little early for this to get filled up, but CCL and Palantir on there. Oh, there's Cloudera. What am I talking about? 200,000, so the fifth highest one right now on the bid side. Definitely worth it. Whenever you see a big bid there and a good report and a good number, I definitely like to take out tops. So let's look at 13.10, but this is just still, so I'm basically, all I'm saying is I'm bullish on this stock. I don't know where the levels are going to be because it is pretty thin right now. You see the liquidity on the level 2, but I'm bullish with it and using a 12.50 sort of stop here yesterday where we kind of bounced off on those earnings.
Yeah, I mean, outside of the 1250, worth noting that 200,000 on the balance locator Sean showed you, it's only done 800,000 pre-market, so that is a solid number despite it being a low price stock. 1420, 52-week high. If it ever breaks out into that range, maybe might find a little bit of resistance there. That's if we do get a breakout through the top or maybe a bounce off 1250. I think I'm sort of forward looking into what might be an opportunity for me to short off that level, but I'm bullish until we get to that price. So for Cloudera, probably all systems go. Just no guarantees that it'll be the wildest stock off the open.
All right, guys, DocuSign, the next one here. Another one with the blowout report, also trading up this morning, but just noticed also coming back, starting to fade off a little bit. There were a number of analyst moves on this stock this morning as well, 3 or 4, mostly to the upside. Price targets around $50. So DOCU, another one to look at today.
250?
Yeah, you can take this one, sure.
No, I mean, just to quickly show you guys the daily chart, which I think you can definitely see. It's a large consolidation, certainly, which is reflective of the stock. If it gets through that 250 mark, I think that's going to be a big level for it. Certainly would love to see that break happen. But it was wild action post-market, and this will happen on lower liquidity after market on earnings. But the key story is that it recovered, tested right up to that same 250 mark. It came off, actually was holding lower than this pullback, which if it stays below that 243, it's usually pretty of a bearish sign. I think maybe we'll gap fill. But then it grinds higher and is now trying to hold that same level. So I feel like that 250 could come into play. I would like that break, but we're so far away from it. You got to have some actionable trades in front. I feel like the 245 maybe gives you a scalp. If it holds below, then we could still have the rollover, but it's not the name that I want to be playing to the short side. No matter what happens today, we're probably going to be looking for that 250 break if it doesn't happen throughout next week. And whenever it does, kind of like that Tesla 600, like it just looks really, really good. It starts sort of aligning for that type of a breakout.
Yeah, the high of the day, 248 right now. Yeah, forget about all these wicks up to, I mean, I know Neil just said 250. We love 250 as a psychological level, but this 248 is good. If you look at a daily chart, I know Neil already had that up there, but these tops, like were like the same thing. 248, like 245, 246. I mean, regardless, you're picking at straws here because this stock is either going to go through 250 or it's going to reject and head right back down to these levels right here. I think we're near the low right now. I mean, VWAP is 245. You could see 240 again at some point, but again, this is one of those stocks where I've changed up the strategy that I trade with here now. I don't take bigger positions straight off the open because you get that whippy action. Those of you that know, like that day that we had our largest position in November on Square earnings, we punched it through 185. We had it huge. It was just too jiggly in the first couple minutes, so we got out for like $2 or $3, and then it went 12 or something like that. So I really think that we gotta wait. We gotta see what's happening. But I wrote down basically, I don't know if you can see this, but it's all the same: 245, 247, 248, 249. I want all of these levels long, and then I want to find out where the base is going to be at the bottom. Shakib, my man, you don't have to worry. We're already popping the water bottle off right now. We're staying hydrated. Someone asked me, what does it say on the back? It says I'd rather be trading. And look, it's Friday. I don't think there's anything more appropriate than I'd rather be trading. Which camera are we going at? Because we can't trade on the weekend, Brendan. And I'd rather be trading on the weekend sometimes. Don't tell the family.
No, I won't. We'll keep that between you and I. Let's bring in Arun here, guys. We'll have a look at the overall market, see what levels on the futures we need to be aware of this morning. Arun, that was an interesting move on that number. I mean, the spike down, we're right back to basically where we started, but trying to break down now.
We're just going sideways. We've done absolutely nothing. Yeah, we checked the upside, we checked the downside, and we're right back to 75. And the levels from yesterday is 85. So 85 is the level I'm looking at. If we can get a breakout, then there's potential for a long. But here's one thing I did see yesterday is that after we cracked 70 yesterday morning, pretty much from 70 to 80, there was a ton of buying and a ton of buying that was being absorbed. So there's a massive, massive seller that's on the back end just taking up all the buying. And I noticed that when we cracked 80 as well, around just before we had that big fall in the afternoon. So around 3 o'clock, when we cracked 80, there was a ton of buying above 80 as well. So 85 is a level for now, but I really want to see what happens when we get through 85, because if the sellers are still there, then this could easily just be a false breakout that just goes right back down. So we're kind of stuck between buying that's below 65, they're selling up here in the 75s area, and we're just going sideways. So on a day where the biggest headline is the number, and then we get through that and just go sideways, my expectations for the day are kind of small unless we get some more news, like the Pfizer news yesterday, because what it tends off, it just kind of tends to tail off the volume, especially. It just dies off after the headline is gone. So we're gonna have to. I'm really looking at the 85, and that's the only level I've got. 85, we can get a break, we settle in. All the absorption is gone from the sell side, then we may have a breakout. But I'm going to be very careful because I don't want to step into the breakout and get caught in a trap, essentially. So we're just going to be a little bit patient with this 85. That's all I've got for you, Brendan.
The past two, I want to get your opinion, Arun, before we let you go. The past 2 or 3 months, we've seen this jobs number be kind of faded throughout the session. If it is positive, tends to get sold off and vice versa. Do we put any weight into what has happened over the past couple of months? Yes, as Mark was saying, we're getting increased COVID cases. It was almost expected that this was going to come into the downside. How much weight are you putting into that number today?
Okay, so there's a couple things. The jobs number is essentially 2 components, right? It's the unemployment or the claims, the jobs number itself, the payrolls number itself, and then the unemployment rate. And a lot of the times what you're going to see when you have numbers that come in opposite directions, so you have the payroll number itself is lower and you have the rate being actually better, you're going to have one move in one direction, then you're going to have a reaction, because a lot of the trading that happens off the number is going to be algorithm trading, right? So the first number that gets released, they are in sequential order. So the first number that goes out, if that's the actual payrolls number, then you're going to have that drop if it's bad. And then you have the unemployment rate comes in. If that's good, then you're going to have the programs run it up. And then we kind of just settle in as the human trading has to take over and figure out what to do with this report. And that's what happens after the open. So whatever happened in the past, a lot of the times what you're going to see is if they come in opposite directions, the report, the number and the actual rate comes in opposite directions, at the open, when the human trading actually takes into effect, it's pretty much the number's been digested, and then the market runs with whatever the headline for that direction or for that number would be. So maybe it's a good report because it'll be more stimulus. So we run, even though it's a bad report, the number bad being a good thing because of the Fed. Well, you kind of have to factor the Fed into the whole equation now. It gets really complicated. So past reports don't really I don't really take past reports to mean a whole lot for the current report, but you do have to consider how this would affect the Fed. Now, if the Fed, if it's a good expectation and you think that the Fed or the market believes that the Fed will get involved in a certain way because the report is bad or the report is good, then you're going to see the market run in the direction that they anticipate the Fed will come out with. But with the end of the year coming in and a new, a new president coming in, how much is the Fed going to get involved in this market? Maybe not a whole lot at the moment. So unless there's some jarring economic news that comes out between now and the end of the year and before next Fed report, I think we're going to go sideways for this one.
Great stuff. Thanks so much, Arun. We'll check back in again on Monday morning before the market gets open and ready to go. Yeah, we're going to talk about Pfizer coming up. Guys, if you're joining us for the first time, welcome. We do this every single morning between 8:30 and 9:30 a.m. Eastern. Make sure you take a second, hit the like, and subscribe to this channel. We're talking about all the stocks that are moving around in the pre-market this morning. Pfizer, definitely one of those again. We are stuck in, I want to jump right into this chart because we are stuck in this choppy mess that we had right at the end of the day yesterday after the move to the downside that kind of kicked off the selling in the overall market after they said their manufacturing production for 2020 going to be half what they originally stated, 50 million versus 100 million vaccine doses, guys. So we're in that range still from yesterday afternoon, but very active once again.
Yeah, Pfizer, I mean, Neil did a little bit of analysis here on the beginning of the show. I like this 39.50 spot here. Look, we faded out yesterday. This is a 3-minute chart, so if we can show you, this is the move if you weren't at your desk or trading in the afternoon yesterday. $40.50. It was starting to ramp itself up. Obviously, we know about what kind of vaccine they have there, and they went from 50 million doses down to 25. But I believe they've already stated that I think it was just the double dose issue, right? Where it's 50 million doses, but you need 2 of them. So it's really only going to help 25 million people. So that's not great. I mean, the world is full of people, and 25 million is a great start, but we're going to wait to see if Moderna can do the 100 million or so, and I'm sure Pfizer will get it going. But a little disappointing news there yesterday for sure. But, we had Mark on, and we talked about this, and I just mentioned it, that I think it was baked in, that. So I don't know. I don't know if we get back to 40.50. Pfizer really doesn't have enough movement for me to trade it. It's a scalping kind of thing. That's why I think that if we do break below and there's maybe more sort of, I don't want to say like fire where there's smoke, because I don't even really think there's smoke here. It's just, it was a negative headline. Pfizer got beat up on it a little bit. Then, the algos and the traders weren't sure of what to do. So we went from 40.10 down to 39.70. Like, if that's bad news, man, and the stock only drops 40 cents, then, I mean, I don't really know what good news is or bad news for Pfizer anymore. So I'm going to stay away. It's not super exciting to me. I'm looking down here for the imbalance locator just to see. I don't even see it on here today. And I thought we would have with this kind of a news. So for me, Pfizer is just, there it is. It's just a ho-hum type of deal for me today. I'm not super excited about it. I know you already went into it, Neil, but if there's anything extra you want to add,
No, look, if it gets to that 415, I can catch a rollover short off of it. That's pretty much it for me on Pfizer. If it breaks through 39.50, there's some interesting prices if there's a real drop. But that was, like you said, it just wasn't that big of a drop in perspective to what people were reacting to with that headline. So we'll see what happens with Pfizer off of the open, but I think there's going to be maybe more volatile names to be watching here, Sean.
One of them could definitely be Boeing. We mentioned Boeing, the news coming out mid-morning yesterday. Ryanair ordering 75 additional 737 MAX jets from Boeing. That kicked off a nice rally yesterday. You can see we got all the way up to nearly 242 there. We're opening in this range still from the afternoon, 237 the bottom, but Boeing definitely needs to be back on watch again this morning.
Yes, and look, sorry, I'm going to go over to the minute chart there, my daily chart. Just a little bit having some trouble loading that one, but I was looking initially to see if we had the juice to get a push to that 250. What is it with the stocks in 250 today? Anyways, but 237 does feel like there could be a little bit of a rollover. I was trying to show you guys in the daily. I don't know if it loaded up there. Yeah, it's some trouble loading. I don't know if you've got the daily up there, Sean, but the last time there was the news of the plane being degrounded. There was a couple of days later, at least maybe even a full week, where you had a dip down into like the 175 to 185 range, which is a fantastic buying opportunity. Whether or not you get that here, maybe down into the 220s again, certainly a possibility. If 237 goes, it could be a little bit of a shot for just a bit of a pullback trade on Boeing, because it tends to do that, right? It's not always a name that's going to fly every single day, even though I do think it's still going to the upside here. But first look, 237 could get interesting.
What are we worried about? You said grounding of something?
No, I said the last time they got the ungrounding, it got a nice pullback and gave you a second entry point. Yeah. So whether or not that happens here in the next couple of days, we'll see.
I mean, Boeing yesterday, guys, I mean, again, I'm looking at a 3-minute chart. We've already bought this at 217. We talked about that in one of our videos yesterday, and I tweeted it out a couple weeks ago about why we like Boeing. And then yesterday we got a 7% move. I mean, I don't have any concerns whatsoever about this stock. I was expecting a pullback today just because of yesterday's move, and then just, how come we stopped upside here at 242. So I like a break of 242 again on Boeing, and then using this 237 as a downside target for protection. So I don't really want to go short unless there's, I know they're talking now. They delivered no 787s in November. They're adjusting their 737 production rate. I mean, there's some stuff popping on the news now. Brendan will come with if there's anything major that sparks it. But I'm looking at Boeing, and I like it again. Look, yesterday we hammered it. Where was it yesterday that we went long? I think it was it here, 238 long? I think it was. Or it was down here, 233 long, and we just hammered this one. We got it. We got out in the 240 area. So yesterday we had Boeing long. We like it, and I think it's a fun one. I'm not expecting much of a roller coaster with this stock, but who knows? Let's just wait to see. I like a 242 break.
Yeah, the CFO is speaking currently. He's just talking about they're comfortable with their current cash flow position and recovery status to this point. They also said they're going to reduce the 737 MAX production to 5 per month. That's not even a huge reduction. I think they were doing 7 or 8 per month prior to this. So nothing terribly significant coming out of these headlines that are coming across right now on Boeing. Let's keep going along here, guys. I want to talk about the travel group. We got Mark's opinion there on some of the airlines. Once again, showing some relative strength here in the pre-market, specifically AAL up 3+% at one point, still doing significant volume. There's Alaskan, as Mark was saying. There's Southwest. Delta as well was also very active in the pre-market. CCL, the only one really, as far as the cruise operators are concerned, doing any kind of significant volume this morning.
Yeah, CCL is that's the short-term trader vehicle, I guess, if you're looking at that space. Whereas the airlines, I think you can sort of pick your poison. Look, you're getting this little ramp up, of course. Interestingly enough, off of that Pfizer story, you didn't really see as much action as you might have expected to the downside when in the airlines on that story. I mean, we're still actually, holding above the 60. Well, actually, we were just holding above that 1650 on American Airlines. It actually just pulled back below it. So this could get interesting because a pullback could be in store. I was looking for, if it was going to dip, I was looking for dips into this $15.80 to $16 range. That's what you got in the afternoon yesterday, and that actually might come into play now that we've broken below the 1650 on the AAL in particular. Granted, CCL does a fantastic volume, but you can't ignore the moves that just came into play in the airlines the last couple of days as well.
Yeah, I was looking. I'm still looking at Boeing here, watching that 237 to see what it's going to do. Okay, so CCL again. We traded it yesterday. It was such a great stock actually yesterday that we hit this long. I think it was an 80 or 90 cent winner. We wound up taking for you guys on the show off of this break right here, 21.65, and then just crushing it to the long side. And that was a great trade yesterday. So that was good. Yesterday we were 8 for 9. The only loser was NEO, and we'll look at that again coming up. But some tops right now, 23.45 from yesterday. It looks like we're testing that again. Bottoms here in the afternoon is something that we could look at. 22.80 on the break. This market is pretty confusing right now. The NASDAQ, like, it's still positive. The ES is still positive. It's a Friday. It's Santa Claus rally time. And we're just going to wait to see here. 23.40. I'm going to not get involved with this until 22.80 or so on the downside. I don't want to take CCL on breakouts. We do have a 500. It's leading the way right now with a $500,000 share bid in it. And we're just going to wait to see what it does at these bottoms. Put some bids down here, low 23, see if it holds.
Not on the watch list this morning, but your Palantir on there as well, Sean, right at the top of the list. We might have a look at that coming up. I want to talk about the electric vehicle space. For the first time in a week or so, there's a bunch of different news stories on individual names, whereas before we've seen the group kind of moving on one or two news stories surrounding the entire group. Li Auto, the first one we'll talk about, big move down, $1.4 billion worth of an equity offering, already trying to get back to the upside here.
A nice bounce off of 30 even. I believe the offering 29 at 29. Now, Li Auto came already back from 50, so you're already in the midst of a deep decline here. But it is sort of worth noting, on the march to the upside, there was a very significant pullback into 30 even. So that's exactly what we were sort of seeing on the offering. It did briefly break it to the low of the day, is actually 29.90 here in the pre-market, but you're now holding above it. That's going to be the obvious support area. If 30 goes, I'm looking to short off of that on Li Auto. Otherwise, I think the way to sort of play this, and we'll see what Sean's opinion is on this. Li Auto, I like to short through that 30 if we get it. Looking to the long side, I mean, certainly you can look at NEO having come down as well, and maybe try and play that off a bounce if there is a move to the upside in the EV space. I was looking at XPeng maybe for some shorts too. The big 52 level, if that can hold, maybe a good opportunity. But Li Auto through 30 is the first thing I'll be looking at in this overall space. It has bounced 70 pennies away from it. So there's no guarantee we're going to get that right off of the open. It might actually make a run back at this like 31 to 31.50 area before we get a shot at the bottom.
Yeah, I mean, you talked about XPEV there, Li Auto, NEO. Let's just go over to NEO because, I mean, that's going to be one of the biggest guys that we continue to trade. And I mean, I like XPEV. I like all of these spaces. But we did talk about some of the, if you're going to be an EV, I still think Tesla's the play. But NEO, again, the last couple weeks have been great, but the last couple days have not really been super. We topped out at 49 a couple days ago, and now you're into 45 today, so that's 10%. But this bottom here yesterday is something that I'm interested in a little bit. We made a bottom at 45.25 early, and then we talked about that tank there at the end of the day. Tank, probably overused word there. Movement down in the end of the day in the S&P, turning the Dow negative just barely. But 45.06 there, we bounced at 45 on NEO, and look where we are right now, 45 again. So I actually like a break of right around here. Where we tried to bounce yesterday and failed. So that's about 45.60. Let's call it 45.50 here on NEO. We're going to go long on this. I mean, I just... Look, when the traders come involved with NEO, we know what this can do to that stock. We know the stock can get going. So I think if you did want sort of some kind of a YOLO trade here right off the open, I like a 45.60 break on N to the I to the O.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Like, you go for, like, pick the NEO for the long, which is only down 0.5%, or just almost a full percent there. Not the Li Auto, which is getting beat up. The only difference, I would maybe even be looking at that 45.25. The 50-60 area, certainly a stronger look on the chart. I just feel like if you do the 45.25, it might be one of those opportunities where right off the open, if it somehow holds 45, it's a tighter stop trade. If it does turn around at the 50-60, you're not a horrible one loss. And then you can, as you say, sort of YOLO the rest of it above that 45-60 area. But I kind of like the NEO long myself as well, Sean.
Okay, when it comes to NEO, guys, there was UBS Asset Management America coming out disclosing a large stake in NEO, 86 million worth of a stake in NEO. And then on the XPeng front today, UBS also busy this morning. One of their analysts talking very positively on XPeng when it comes to autonomous driving specifically. So very positive notes coming through still on the EV space, especially for the Chinese names. We're going to get down to CIIG Merger Corporation because everyone needs a little more SPAC in their life. This is the, which one was it? It is the Arrival SPAC. So CIIG, which the ticker is CIIC, is the UK-based Arrival EV maker. Jim Cramer on CNBC last night giving everyone his blessing to go ahead and buy this one, guys.
Yeah, he's like, wait till it dips to like 1750. Well, now it's not going to. Jimmy Chill. But look, it's either way, of course, everyone's going to be watching it today. I'm going to mess this one up about a million times when it's CIIG and the ticker is CIIC, so sort of bear with me there. I was actually looking for the 25 just to get a muted pullback. Actually, it's like we're looking at the daily chart just so you can see how deep the retracement's been. This thing came back 50% before this latest run. I think that's why, looking at that 1750 seems nice, but let's talk realistic levels for today. This 2450 initial pullback, there was a bit of a resistance here for a couple days before that flush into 17. So I think if it dips, that's where you can definitely pick some up here. The breakout probably stands at 2750. That's a nice psychological number. So those are the two levels I'm watching. I don't necessarily want to play the middle here. I either want to get a great dip price like 25 in front of that 2450 or catch the break in the middle. Not going to be stuck in the middle with this one here, Sean.
Yeah, I like a 20. I mean, yeah, I like a 25. I just use 25 as a psychological level. Like, look, I love you, Jim Cramer, and I follow and listen to you almost every day. And yeah, I mean, good little bump there. We'll see. UK-based, I don't know. I mean, it's very similar here. I don't know much about the company, but just from this, you have a little bit of action up here. 1 million shares is decent with 10 minutes to go. So there is some love for this name, obviously, today. I'm still on a 3-minute chart. So 27 top, 25 bottom, $2 range. I think if it breaks either way, it's worth a shot.
Yeah, they're focused on transit buses and utility vehicles and things on the larger scale size. They don't actually have a passenger vehicle, but more on the transit side of things for Arrival from the UK. We'll talk about Walgreens here one more time, guys. We mentioned it with Mark early on in the show this morning, but worth another look here for Walgreens before we get to the open. A lot of people still coming in and joining us for the first time. Might have missed. Let's go back over WBA today.
Yeah, the story here is that possible, again, takeover chatter. Late last year, early this year, there was some talk that Walgreens could get bought out. Now it seems like after their pockets got picked by Amazon, the big dog, jumping in with the pharmacy play, Walgreens did dip heavily off of that news, found a nice little base off 37 to 39 here, and then now breaking up the last couple of sessions. And it's on this takeout chatter. You heard Mark say potentially above $50. It has not even gotten back to pre-Walmart news numbers, which you have to think are a distinct possibility. Ear to the ground, of course, because some statement could come out saying we're not looking at anything. There's no one's approached us, blah blah blah, whatever that might be, and you could have some dip action. But I am looking for a couple of breaks here. If we can zoom in, you're looking at the current top 43.50 in the pre-market, but just be wary that yesterday afternoon you did have a 43.70 area top as well. So could it be immediate resistance that top rate runs into? I'm going to take a shot at it anyways on Walgreens. Definitely like it. You can give it back to that 43 even. The risk reward seems like it's going to be a solid one. If it breaks these highs, you got to figure we're at least getting back to the pre-Amazon news numbers there, that 45 area.
Now that we're talking big-time Dow components, I mean, back to Boeing, I just want to check in on it because it is coming back to the downside. We did review this already off of a nice 7% move yesterday, and I said that we were expecting a little bit of a pullback. We do have the CFO speaking, and he's just been saying a few things. Doesn't seem like anything too major. It's not a big move down, but I'm a little weary now. We're taking out yesterday's bottom that we looked at there. I said we could go long through 242 and then use this 235, 236 area as a bottom, and it looks like that's happening a little faster than we had wanted to. I'm not in it, but this is still 235. So I still like this 235 as a bottom. This could be, guys, giving us a great long opportunity here. If this comes back down here, let's do that. Let's put some bids right now, get a little long, low 235s, and then see if we can't rip this thing back to the upside there. But let's not be too crazy with this. The bottom there, 234, 235, this little get up spot right here. I don't want to hold it for too long. It's only going to be $1.50 worth of risk on this trade, but I do like a 235-ish long if we can get that. So putting an order in now, hoping that it can spike down a little bit here as we get closer to open. That may be not a great move. Let me just see here before we go. I don't even see Boeing on here. So throw it back to Brendan. I'll find it and come back.
All right, guys, just watching Cheesecake Factory here. Not much of a reaction to this, but a little bit of news just coming out on this one. Cake down 0.5% or so. The SEC, U.S. regulators, charging Cheesecake Factory for misleading COVID-19 disclosures. Doesn't really get into more detail than that, exactly. But yeah, not much of a reaction there, but we can watch Cheesecake Factory. There's also a couple of offerings that just came through. Shelf offerings, both CRM and Walmart with shelf offerings. In both cases, the sizes weren't disclosed. So I just checked out,
right?
Yeah, I just checked out both CRM and Walmart, but nothing there either. So there's a couple of little teeny tiny ones we can talk about. Neil mentioned earlier HGSH. So there's HGSH, that's not the right screen, HGSH and also HX. In both cases, they're Chinese companies, micro cap companies, teeny tiny floats. I'm talking 8 or 9 million share floats on either of these, going absolutely crazy so far this morning. You want to have a look at those, Neil?
Yeah, I mean, HGSH is the first one I saw, and this is what Brendan does here. I didn't even notice that HX, and certainly we can definitely have a look at this. But China real estate, no news whatsoever. I sort of gave you guys what I was thinking here with a tight consolidation off what was the first initial pullback very early at 725. So I did get a shot at that same range. It made a few tops shy of that 5 even area. I felt pretty good about the rollover. So grabbed shares around 420 a couple of times here. 418 was my second entry on the way down, not the way up. Took some out in front of 4, let the rest ride. I'm still holding on to 20% of the position. I think, like I was saying, if it gets through this area, you get a bit of a home run trade. But the stop is still tight. It's going to be at that 420. And if it breaks here, maybe I'll look for a re-entry point off of the top. But this is technically day one for this move. I know this was aftermarket. It did a little bit of volume in the afternoon, but most of the move up was aftermarket and pre-market. So this is technically a day one play, not a day two. That means the breakout and parabolic upside move on nothing is in the back of my mind. That's why I'm not allowing it to go past that 420 area. So as much as I'm in the money, I'm happy with the trade. I think it's been a good one this morning, and I think it has some follow-through potential for it still. This is not one I'm doubling down. I'm not adding to it on the way back up before the open, and certainly not going to give it to that 5 even, which could be a break on its own. There's another one I wanted to talk about here because, of course, we were mentioning XPeng, XPEV, the symbol, of course. But remember, Lizzie had that deal announcement with XPeng, and then big time movement to the upside. You saw that, big spike on the daily. Now, busted through that $5 area here, guys, and then snapped back in the afternoon. I think anytime we see that initial sell-off like this, and then you get the consolidation right at the close here after a sharp pullback, and then we open not even trying to test yesterday's close. So well a ways away from that at about the 450 to 460 mark and still grinding down. I want to be short off that 460 and the yesterday's close around that 480. Looking also for a 4 even break. So LIZI still in play, day 2, showing some signs of weakness, Brennan.
We mentioned quickly there, HX. We'll show you this one as well. HX, another Chinese company, doesn't seem to have any kind of significant news, but we were up significantly more than this. We got up to 375 at the top end there in the pre-market, all the way back to 290 now. We're kind of consolidating the bottom end of the range here. Needs to hold below 3, I think, or this one might go as well. 320, a couple of wicks in that 310 to kind of 320 range on the daily chart. This down here, this consolidation is 260, 275 area up to about 280. So let's see, we're right there in that area right now. So let's see what happens with this one as well, guys. HX.
All right, we're just gonna wait here on, I'm just putting my orders in for Boeing, low side 235. I don't know if that hits or not. Here's the imbalance locator. It's actually a bid. So we did show it there. It's a bid on the NYSE right now for Boeing, 107,000. So that's what's there. The other shelf, some of the, debt shelf there from Walmart. CCL still a buy, NEO a sell. Palantir, this is what I want to talk about right now. I'm getting ready to punch this through 25 here on Palantir. Come on, chart. Let's load up for Palantir here. Yesterday, this is why the high yesterday in the morning time, 24.97 or so a couple days ago there. So we watched that. That's actually yesterday. We're back to a 1 minute chart. If you look here, 25 topped yesterday right there. Top. We break it once and it rips to about 25.70. Other than that, there was no real other breaks of 25. So it's coming close to doing that again. The only thing is, look, it tried it and then tanked. Tried it and tanked. Tried it. So, we could get hit on a buy through 25, but I think it's worth it. We've been doing it for a while now. So this bottom is 24.50. Just be ready, you got to put on your big boy pants because if Palantir doesn't go through 25, you have to be willing to sort of stomach it back down to 24.50. So trade with the right amount of shares on Palantir because it could do that. It could fail again, just like it did right here, just like it did right everywhere. It failed every time except for once through 25, and that was at about 10.15. So watch out for that fail through 25. It's ramping up right now. It might even break before the market opens. And not only that, guys, but we do have this imbalance locator that's here with a 500,000 share bid. So we are watching that. I also like AMD through 93.
Yeah, yesterday there was a dip on Palantir. It gave you a great reaction buy to 23.50. I'm looking at 24.50 in the similar fashion. If it dips down there and gives me a chance to play off that, I definitely will. But we got to drop this countdown. It's the end of the week, and it's been a good one. If you guys have been following along, we are through that early open time. And only one without a sweater is Valeria. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. It's Friday. Market is open. Watch out for that HGSH if you're looking at this one. Like I did say, it was a bit bullish, and that's trying to test that 425. Now, if it fails to get through that level, I didn't want to short more into the open, but if it fails at that 420, I will roll into some more shorts, guys. I do like that opportunity. Palantir coming towards 24.50, but not quite there yet.
Yeah, it's not really doing anything yet. We are going to get along into DocuSign here, maybe if it breaks through 248. We did talk about DocuSign and why we did like that stock. Good earnings there. Oh, my charts have got to push forward. Good earnings. It just tipped down to 244. That would have been a great buy spot there. We did look at these before, 242 for 243. So let's put some bids downside in case we do get some DocuSign, 244-ish.
Yeah, just going to roll into some. Oh, and I just missed that chance to get some more shorts in HGSH there. Try to get some 390s when it failed at 4 even.
Palantir,
now the flush is on here, but Palantir up to 25, about to break here.
Yep, there it goes. Oh, no, sorry, that's DocuSign. We're into both, man. We're into DocuSign and Palantir right now. So let's watch Palantir go. We're along at 25.05 right now. Let's see if we can give it some room.
Brendan,
what's up?
Li Auto, guys. Early strength here for Li Auto. Blasted through 31, straight up to 31.80 there. It's trying to get back up to where we were yesterday for Li. Early strength, guys.
Yeah, just a quick look. That LIZI, Lizzie, I did mention that one. A 4 even, looking for that break to the downside. It immediately came down. I'm going to take it on the break. Palantir still going. Managed to get some shares on that break at 05.
Yeah, we're already monsters here, man. Go ahead. You're getting some out. Oh, there it goes. DocuSign for the win. Bang. And look, what a great trade DocuSign was. Through 248. Go. We're not going to dump that. We're out of half right now. We're watching DocuSign Moon right now, guys.
250. I actually missed that one. I like the 250 break. I'm sitting here talking about it and not catching it. If it gives me a shot in the pullback, gonna have to take it. It just feels like you got to have your level. Boeing on the move here, guys. HGSH is back to that 4 even. I am going to take more shares here off of 425, guys.
Yeah, we're into Boeing right now as well, but it's just tanking to the downside right now through that 233. So we're watching out for that level that we gave you to the downside there. But a big tank on Boeing. Palantir back. DocuSign still that $2 in the money. So 1 win, 1 loss here for us on these stocks. Palantir, though, still trying to go. My best out in the 20s. Here comes back to the downside.
Yeah, I did get, this is pure luck, guys, a bit of a pullback into 250 on DocuSign. So you don't get the break, but I'll take the secondary trade. The break actually gave you a couple of bucks already. I'll give it back to that previous pre-market level, that 248. I did mention the reload on HGSH. This one looks like it's heading southbound now, guys. So it looks like the reload on HGSH is working out. Brendan, what's up?
Big mover yesterday. We were talking about this one, Snowflake, just popping up here. You can see huge volume again this morning on the open there. 338 was a bit of a problem, though, in the pre-market, right at 338 here for Snowflake, guys.
Yeah, 232 looks like it's going to break out here on Boeing. Could break to the downside, so we're going to watch that one. DocuSign coming back down a little bit here.
Yeah,
we got out at 251. That was a $3 winner. We're going to hold it to see if it goes through 252. Really not too much here on the downside of this name.
Yeah, definitely. It's holding that 248 for now, so it looks like it's going to be okay. Of course, I now have to watch this HGSH because it is climbing back to the upside on me here, guys. Not going to give it past that 425. You don't want to turn a nice little winner into fighting a stock, which it may not have any reasons as far as I'm concerned, but if it wants to go up, I'm just going to get out of it. There's no point to fighting it. Oh, I just accidentally went long. Too many shares covering the short. 425 broke. I actually made money on that somehow. Sometimes the sun shines on a dog's ass some days. Accidental long makes a couple of pennies for me. I want to guys monitor Tesla. Again, we were looking for a possible some point 600 break. Tesla with an $8 drop off the open, so we can probably file that one away once again for a later date.
Yeah, Tesla dropping. Look at DocuSign, $5 now in the money on this runner. We talked about that. This is why, guys, I wrote down every single level to the long side there. As you can see, 245, 248, 249 on the top there. That's DocuSign, and we run that to the high side there. We got out of some of our Boeing, but it's nice to see that it's coming back a little bit. We were playing that 245, 235, long, so we did take some shares there. It does drop down. We get out on a 234 break. Now it's coming right back into the money for us, so we still do have about half of that position, but we did dump it. So it needs to come back at least to about 237 so we can make back a little bit of what we lost there, at least on that name, Boeing. DocuSign still going, not really have a target for an out here. I think this thing could be pretty much run all day.
You saw what happened with Zscaler. You know, you got to let those ones run here. And look, that 250 was such a great level on the daily chart. Brendan, what's up, bud?
Another SPAC to look at, guys. This one, Starpeak. Starpeak merger announcing they're teaming up with STEM, which is an AI-driven clean energy company. So a monster move here for STPK in New York, up 35%, guys.
That's CIIC, guys. Just a quick look here. 27.50, like on a dime, turning right around here. Of course, we were talking about buying dips in the stock. It never quite got to 25 even. It actually got close enough that I feel like maybe I should have taken a shot at it. I did not do that. It's rolling over off this 27.50 area. I'm going to go with a breakout at that long. I guess you can buy higher, despite the call being a dip buy on this name. It has come back off of a 17 level, so it's already traveled a little bit far. But I'm going to take the break. It's an even psychological level as well. So 27.50 on CIIC. If we get anything around 25, still like the dip buy, guys.
Guys, $6 now in the money on Docu here. A 248 long. We got out of half for $3 winner. Now, like Neil said, let this baby ride, man. Okay, Palantir breaks through 25. We got out of a little bit there. A win early, and then we got out for some flat there. Now we're watching go to the downside. I told you you needed to be ready for this 24.50 break. And look, that's going to come, and we're going to just wait to see what happens on the downside there, 24.50. I'm not even going to average into this. I still have shares. I still have the position on. We're going to let it rock and roll for a little bit here and just see what it does. But right now, that's Palantir. I did want to go over to AMD. If there's any names that we're missing, guys, which I'm sure there's lots, have a look. I liked this break early on AMD, but it's kind of giving us an opportunity now to get back in on the low side. The NASDAQ failing today. It's a Friday. I just wonder if the market near these all-time highs once again is something that the market wants to fade off right now. DocuSign coming back in. I got to do a little bit better work there. I was just in the money $6, now $4. So watch out for DocuSign. I'm not even sure. Actually, you know what? I'm going to hold this one. I think the sky's the limit on Docu today. Forget it.
Yeah, and I like the hold. I think it's showing all kinds of strength to me. I just wanted to go back to XPEG here. XPEV, sorry, that 52 is approaching rather closely. I did say I wanted to take a shot at the short on Lee. That hasn't happened, but the breakout's happening on XPEV. If it's a failed break and we turn around at 52.50, I want to take the short, re-short this one, not re-short it, but short it back through that 52 even. But it has to hold back below that price. It looks like it's on the run, guys.
Boeing, you are not a friend of mine today. Damn it! We got out all down here. Not all. We still have 30%, but we got out downside there on Boeing, and now it's ripping, guys. Yeah, darn, we missed that trade, but we're still in at 235.21. But we did dump some for a loser there. So pie on face a little bit there, Brendan. What's up?
Big mover from yesterday, guys. We mentioned Novio Pharmaceuticals up again today, 11%. Look at this move this thing had into the close yesterday. Just a ramp right up to 14.75, starting to go up to 14 again for INO. They signed that COVID-19 vaccine manufacturing agreement yesterday, guys.
Let's go Palantir. It's very similar to yesterday's action. Take a break, make a scalp win, get the dip off of that 24.50. I did just, let me zoom in here. That's a bad look. Let me zoom in. So took some out in front of 25 there, so a bit of a double dip down around the low 70s. 50 is still going to be the out. Nothing has changed in that front. 255. The current, almost 255, the current high on DocuSign. If it breaks that, I will put a trailing stop in. But Palantir, hopefully we can get through this 25 mark. We can start getting that 25 quarter again. But that 50 so far has held here, Sean. I think that's going to be a good one. Back over to XPeng, I actually thought that it was going to fail break. And I was ready to immediately take a retracement short. The failure isn't quite there just yet. It almost got to 53. So I don't necessarily like the 52 short anymore. Going to cancel that one. Brendan.
One we mentioned with Mark Roberts. If you joined us at 8:40 this morning, we had Mark on save here. Spirit Airlines just straight higher, guys. 5% to the upside, 25 up to 26 off the bat, guys.
And he was loving Spirit Airlines. So we'll find out from Mark more about that after. But that's his pick there, Spirit and Love, right? Southwest, I think he was mentioning as well. So Neo through 45, we like that. You should understand why it's right there now. So we're going to wait to see 45, the levels right there. We'll let it go. You could bottom pick right now, and I don't think there's anything wrong with doing that either here on NIO. But at the same time, we'll wait to see if we get a clean break on that one to the upside. Palantir, it's trying, guys, to get back, and we're just going to have to hold it because right now it doesn't want to work out for us here on the downside, on the upside for Palantir, but it still did reject, guys, that 24.50, so we did hit that level for you. That was a good one. DocuSign now $6 in the money, so backflips there with DocuSign today. What a big trade that's turned out to be. What's up, Beep?
Big flush on Walgreens here, guys. Looks like CNBC reporting they know nothing as far as any kind of M&A talk even going on with this one. So Walgreens, we were talking about it frequently in the pre-market there, straight to the downside, guys.
This is why you guys pay attention. One for the banger, which he didn't hit bang on DocuSign, but either way, it's still a banger anyways from Sean. But also, we talked about this, ear to the ground. Any talk of we don't see anything here, there's no chatter, no confirmation, you want to make sure you didn't buy into Walgreens, waiting for that. Now, I still think there's going to be an opportunity on a dip here based off this because these kind of stories never die. So I am looking at a 40 even area, but there goes Palantir, guys. The roller coaster is on. We're able to get a couple of good scalps out of it, but it just broke that 24.50. That was my stop, so I have to walk away from Palantir for now. I am looking for any further retracement in Walgreens, anywhere close to that 40 mark that I can go long in front of. I'll definitely take my shot.
Yeah, we did reverse to the short there on Palantir. So, big loss there. We'll drop ourselves down the toilet there. Sorry, that's the wrong one. That's the Brendan one. You'll see Brendan again there. So we are short now, Palantir 43s. It's been a little bit of a roller coaster. I told you that would probably be the case there if we did fail again at 25. We went once in there. We did get out at somehow at 20 there, but holding the rest to the downside did not work out there for Palantir. So we are a little short. We just covered some of that. Again, not a huge position. Not too worried about Palantir right there, but it did just fail once again at 25. So we'll put that in our note and remember that for next time, Palantir. But we are short right here.
Oh, I just got trailed out of DocuSign there as it broke out that 251. So it'll still be a winning trade for me, but look, it came back. I said if it broke 255, I'd throw my trailing stop in, and I got wicked out, guys. This is why we got out of this HESH. Now, I know it's whippy action, but you can still see it's climbing to the upside. It wants to test. It looks like it wants to test at least that pre-market top. Watch out for 5 even. I'll be involved in any short that rolls over shy of that high of the day so far, and I'll be all over it. There's no news on this stock or HX. Brendan, what's up?
Another little pharmaceutical name just popping up here. BCRX getting a couple of, not one, but 2 FDA approvals on a couple of their treatments they're working on. So BCRX here having quite the day. 21% for this one, guys.
Yeah, that DocuSign's still moving around though. Like, I'm still happy with this, but it was up big time in the money. But you are watching the market here a little bit come down on the NASDAQ, but the ES is starting to go upside. So that's why we still have this Boeing. That does go nicely for us in the money, but we wind up getting none of it out. Sorry, that's DocuSign. I want to go back to Boeing here. Boeing back. So DocuSign's still going. We'll see. We're long 248 on that one. But Boeing there does go up to 236, 237. We still are long this 235. I'm waiting for this 233 to break on the bottom side of that. So we'll wait to see if that is the case here on Boeing. Other than that, we're still watching our Palantir. We did take some out there, 35s. We're short 43 now, giving it to the bottom side. I think we could maybe close the gap back down to 24, but I might just get out of this one if it does break back above 24.52, guys.
Snowflake, wow, just making fresh highs. I mean, 350 is about to come into play any second now. I mean, that feels like a break that I know it's a top, but I mean, at some point, got to get involved in this party. And a 350 break, it literally just happens on me. Couldn't even get the shares in fast enough there, but a good look. Brendan actually alerting me to that one. Should have had an alert myself on Snowflake after yesterday's crazy movement to the upside, but let's see if we can get anything in front of that 350 for a quick long here. All-time highs, Brendan.
And we talked about early strength kind of in the energy sector this morning when you came in this morning, crude oil leading the way to the upside. But this one just popping up here, Halliburton, guys, 4% on the day. Nice move. Gapped up anyways, but held 1850 there, a decent level. We're right at recent highs for Halliburton.
Yeah, I don't know if I trust some of the oil space, but yeah, we're going to go with that one. There goes DocuSign back to day's high again. So back up to 255. We're still running this one, guys. 248. Bang! Nice one. You got to hit that one today for us. There's a nice little banger up to 255 and looking to break out again. 256 could be a good little look there. We can go back into yesterday. We didn't even top anywhere near this. This is why we go long here. 248, and it's a good trade, but it stopped a couple times at 256. I think it's probably good spot maybe to get some out here at 50, 254.50. Take it out for a $6 win if we can get it. It just failed again at the top there. There we go. We're out now of DocuSign. What a big winner. Hot dogs for everybody there. 248 longs, out 254 and change. Good trade on DocuSign. Just need Palantir to start going, guys.
Brendan, what's up, bud?
Another one, guys, from the list here, Cloudera, straight downside. We had a test of 1350, huge reversal there. We're below now these support levels from the pre-market for CLDR.
Probably should have shorted that fake Illuminar company at the open over on the OTC because, yeah, that got cut in half. So it went from a funny story to a missed opportunity. I want to throw myself under a bus for that. That's ridiculous. Should have just shorted off the open. I don't know if we would have had locates. Snowflake does continue its push to the upside. It got a couple of bucks in the money. I'm looking for 355 area to take the first leg out, and then let's just see how far it can go. HGSH, I am watching this one as it approaches. This one's just climbing. You can't seem to stop it. But if it rolls over or stalls at 490 or that 5 even area, I am jumping into a short. No news here. I got to take a shot at it. Watch out for Lizzie as well. I am watching that heavily. CIIC, we did mention this, of course. This is a rival, of course, the SPAC EV maker out of England. Looking for this bottom at 25 area. It looks like it's holding a higher low. I want to use that for a dip buy. We still like the 27.50 break, but some nice consolidation around 26. I'd love it a little closer to 25 even, like 25, maybe like 40s to 60s would have been a good entry point, but might have to pay up a little bit to get this one.
I like this laser, man, the Luminar here. Let's just see if we take it out. $30 again. I think that's a good push.
The real Luminar.
Yeah, the real Luminar. Let's just wait to see what that one wants to do to the high side there. Possibly taking out 30 one more time. We'll wait to see if that happens. Okay, Palantir, so thank you for giving us most of our money back now. As we are short, we'll take some out here in the 20s as we keep going downside. So a nice little trade here on Palantir. Just took some off. We reversed to the short. So there it is, a 50-cent loss. And then now we're making back on that 20 or 30. So we're trying to get to flat again on Palantir because we did take profits here. And then we lost a little bit, and then the ultimate loss downside. But here we go now. Just got filled out at 25 there. So watching this stock goes is nice, but I still like Palantir to the long. We should have hopefully you guys reloaded some of your long positions at 21 the other day. But right now, just for a day trade, seems to be losing some steam here on a Friday. So watch out, man. You still have that 24 bottom. I have some bids there.
I'm going to hit this key because we actually have something for Snow. There it is. Let it snow, let it snow. Outside it's cold. I can't. Look, just check out the Boyz II Men song. It's a great Christmas song. But we got the quick little move into 355. Took out the $3 win. It went a little bit further here. And it had a shot to get out in front of 360 on the way back in. But I really, really want to see if we can let this one run a little bit. Snowflake is just so, I mean, look. The action yesterday was insane, and I feel like after watching what happened in Zscaler, I don't want to sell this one short and see how far we can go on this. I'll give it all the way back to break even, and then we'll see how far past the 360 break. Maybe I'll trail it at that point, and then see if we can get like a 375 move. HGSH is being stubborn, doesn't want to give me an entry point to that short trade, but I am still looking for that one. I'm going to get you at some point, HGSH. There's nothing here. It's going to be a short. Brendan, what's up?
Another one from Small Cap World, PPSI. This one popped up right before the open here. We're up to just about $5 here. $5 kind of holding as support at the moment. Into recent high territory for this one. They won a patent dispute lawsuit ruling in their favor. So PPSI up on that news, guys.
I feel like Palantir, we're getting some out here in the bottom, so it's been a nice little trade there for us. Getting out now in the teens, good trade. Okay, Boeing, we still have Boeing, so it's coming up. It keeps hitting VWAP and coming back down, so I don't know, man. And we're just stuck in the top here on Boeing. We took a little bit of a hit on it, nothing real. The real only hit was this one down there, $1.50, but it was only part filled. So, we're out, and now we're holding a little bit here. Still long that 235. It's just bouncing around in the money, out of the money. I still think we can break, and if we break above some of these key levels right here, then I think it's all systems go on Boeing. That's a 238. That's a little high up, man. 238. That's what I was looking at right here. That's a little high. I think we'll dump some if we get up there. I do have my sell order at 237.50, so right around here. So I do believe in Boeing coming back to the upside right now. That LAZ, that Luminar laser stock right now, bouncing around. It doesn't really seem to be too volatile right here. So that's why I like a 30 break. It seems to be settling down, maybe catching some bids now. So let's see if it can catch another bid breaking back through 30. But watch out if you are long, man. Watch out for this 28. If that breaks, you could be going south side, Brendan.
Just checking on Ironwood here. IRWD, Ironwood Pharmaceuticals, up on rumors. It looks like that AbbVie might be interested in this one. So almost 6% here, straight higher since the open for IRWD.
Just got trailed out of a Snowflake, and I'm looking immediately for a re-entry into that one. If it gives you anywhere near VWAP, I'm going to be taking that long one more time. I did want to go to XPEV. Now, I did say I liked the 52 retrace initially. I then took that idea off. It slams through, and it would have been a good short. Now I'm looking to play off of VWAP here. If I get a chance, maybe at some 51s with a tighter stop on XPeng, I'm going to go into that short position that we probably should have had $1 ago. If it takes out 50, it's the pre-market low I like better, 49.75. So the breakdown could also be another way to get involved here. Looks like Snowflake doesn't even want to give you anything in the 340s. Might have to pay back up and buy 350s again.
Yeah, I just actually went short XPeng right now with a small little idea of VWAP backside. So we're going to wait to see on that one. So we are short XPEV, looking to take out the bottoms. Why do we do that, you say? Because look at NEO. NEO also, like my charts today, a little slow. NEO also making moves to the downside. So we'll see if this electric vehicle space wants to continue to fail here heading into the weekend. So that's kind of another part of it here, guys. You never know what stories are going to come out over the weekend. So I think that this is worth it right now. On XPEV. You can even grab some options here for next Friday, like next Friday 45s, maybe on XPeng. That could be a good opportunity, the weekly there, if you did want that, or go a little longer time frame. But I'm short right now, looking to see if we take out this bottom. It's not going to be a big trade if we take that out, so we're going to wait for a little more. I'm going to put a bid at 50. If we get out there, that's great, and then we'll see if we break back down through 50 and take more short through 50 if it goes. So we're going to put a bid there, see if we get taken out in the 20s or so for 65, 70-cent win. And then after that, we'll wait to see if it takes out this VWAP at 51.25. But I'm pretty happy with this one. Palantir still making moves to the downside. That's a 20-cent winner right now. Getting back some of that money that we lost early on Palantir. And then Boeing, come on, Boeing, what are you doing? Like yesterday, I don't know. Yesterday it didn't really do this off the open, did it? Let's just see what yesterday's open looked like here on Boeing. Yeah, I mean, nice little move, but then we did have a consolidation. And then once that broke, we broke to the high side. So I still have some faith in this. I'm going to go long again, 235.83 right there. Take some more shares if we break above 236 on Boeing. But let's hold it out and see what happens on that one. What's up, Beep?
More energy stocks just popping up, a little one. If you like the smaller priced ones, Chaos, KOS. US and New York, yeah, almost 11% here. This thing's straight higher since the open. $2 up to about 220. We're coming into decent levels here on the daily time frame. Energy, though, very strong so far today, guys, leading the market higher.
You say chaos? Got the crabs in the bucket, baby. Sundial, it's been like 2 days since I said this stock. That's way too long. Or maybe it's been 1 day. Just bouncing off VWAP. It actually put in a nice move to the upside here. If you guys are watching this name off 60 cents, giving you like a 25% move up. You guys are probably familiar with the fact that I usually short this name. But look at this level. I'm all over watching the 75 area. This is going to be where it fails. I'll try some consolidation around 71, 72. I like tight stops here. Wouldn't hold it through 75. If it breaks and holds VWAP, I think we'll start shorting it for some scalps, guys. This is what it's about here on this name. 175 million, so it's back on the radar in terms of volatility and volume as well. Just watching back over at Snowflake, it doesn't feel like this one's done. I tried to pick some shares back up around 350, but the dip only came to 352. So shaking out, looking for the re-entry into the long. Still think 360 gets tested today.
All right, Palantir coming back to flat. Okay, we're getting ready to go longer on Boeing right now on a 236 break. There it is, so we're long again. We're still long, just an average in here as we take it to go high side now. We'll see if we get some out at 38. Bang, there it is, a nice little win there. Long 235. Out for trouble there. More long again, out again. We still have our 237.50. We made that call. Let's go Boeing to the upside now if we can. Get into the 70s now on Boeing. So a nice little call there. Thank you so much. I've been ignoring the chat. We have too many things on the go here. I apologize. Thank you, Manny D. Here's a few donuts for Monday. Have a great weekend. Thank you so much. We'll do the donuts, but there's a couple hot dogs for you, especially Lori. I know you like that one. Where's Tesla? I see someone talking about, oh, that's fuel cell, sorry. Did Tesla just break there? If it did, I'm embarrassed.
No. Tesla has it's going to the upside, Sean, but I got it up. We're not at that 600 yet. It's a 595. There is no way where I shouldn't say that because now that I say it, we're going to somehow manage to miss it. But 600 break, we like it. You know we love it. We're going to be all over that. We're still $5 away. Got to take that trade. I just put through a bid on Snowflake. I'm going to go top break on Snowflake, but I also want a bid at 352 area to catch a pullback. I think, as I said, it still has room to run. Tesla as well through 600. So a couple of orders that we're waiting on. I'm also trying to get to sell on that sundial around 72. And finally, HESH is rolling over, so I'll jump into this one in front of 450.
Yeah, I just want to talk about Boeing here. 234.75, I think, is a good out here for Boeing. It's just, this could break back to the downside. 234. Let's use 234.50. Now that we're invested a little bit more in it, I'm not going to give it back to that bottom of 233 again. That seems not very risk management proper there for me on that trade. What's up, B?
Just looking at AMC, guys, they're talking with HBO to try and come up to some sort of agreement. HBO talking about putting all of their movies on HBO Max instead of releasing them somewhat, anyways, into the theater. There's multiple headlines regarding this morning. So AMC hit really hard yesterday afternoon. You can see the volume here with the overall market sell-off, but we're right back down to these lows here, down 1.5% again today for AMC.
Just look, I've sort of been all over hating on AMC is, I guess, the nicest thing I can say about it. I feel like it could be down more than this morning. It's a little bit shocking. I wanted any kind of a pullback into the pre-market highs or even that 4 even, but I don't think that's going to come into play today. Probably going to have to work off the 370s. I did get into HGSH and imminently, you know what? Snow got to like 358 on a dime and turned right around. So high as they actually thought it was going to break as well. But HGSH, excuse me, did get into that short, rolling over shy of the high of day. I said I would take it if it did. I had to pay down to get a few more shares in the 30s. 440 is my average price, which, you know, if I don't get when you don't get a better price, I got to go with a tighter stop here. So I'm only going to have to give it to this 465 area, risking about 25 cents, takes them off in front of 4, let it run to that 360 area where we got the most of it out in the pre-market. Yes, it's still showing strength off of the open. That's why the tighter stop here, guys.
Boeing, we did get some out there on that 235 break. We talked about that, and then it comes right back to the high side. So we're going to hold a little bit left on Boeing and just see what happens with that. We did take a risk there. We thought it was going, and it was off that 235. We got out 236.50, but really, it's kind of like a sleeping one right now, sleeping giant, I guess, as we can say here with Boeing. Palantir, you know what, guys? We're still short, but we're short light now because we did cash that out. I do actually like a 60 break here on Palantir, so we're going to go long on that stock and just see what happens here on that break. And if it does break, we'll try it for another long, but we're not going to get too greedy again. We're just going to hope it works out. We're basically we're 0 for 1 on this play. It was a loser because we were able to only take out 20 or 30 cents and then lose about 50 on the last half there. So that's a loser. But then we made it back on the short, didn't cash out of everything. Here it's coming back down again. So let's try to use this level, 24.33, put some bids out. If we get hit there, then that'll be good. And we'll capture some of that profit back on that name. XPEV does go back up, and we got out of it, but no real damage done. That was a pretty light trade. We were waiting downside there on that. Now we go over to NEO to see what we can do on NEO, man. I do like a long break on this one. Where did I put the order? I didn't put it out yet. I put it at 45, but I like a better one now. How about 44.50 back to the upside on NIO? Let's wait till that happens. I'm actually looking at 44.60 to be honest with you. That's these little dip downs there. And then when it finally broke, we did get that tank. So 44.60 long on NIO. Let's see if we can maybe make some magic happen with
Yeah, definitely love that level. But just to go back to the other name of those three that we talked about, Liado, the one that had the offering today, looking to continue to break higher. There goes Snowflake again through the high. So second time we're long. We did make money on the first. We'll see what happens here. I still think if it breaks that 360, there's room to run. But Liado, if we fail shy of this 32, put in a lower high, I'm going to jump into the short. I wanted a 30 break short. Of course, it never happened. Low of the day as well, 29.70. But if I can fade into this one off of the current opening range top, I will take a shot at that guy. So hunting at Liado, I think the long probably safest over in NEO, like you said on the break. But Liado, I kind of want to take a shot at the short at some point today, and looking like it wants to give me an entry point, guys.
Okay, so now we reverse to long to Palantir, guys, and it's going now. Well, it's not going. We'll see. 24.60, we're long. 64, sorry, right there long. So we did punch the long. We did lose on that last little bit of short. It was nothing. I mean, if we were worried, we would have got out of it earlier. So we're going to wait now to see. I just think we can retrace back to 25. That'll be pretty sweet if that does happen, but we do acknowledge that there's VWAP right here. I just liked it because of this little bottom right there. Made a couple bottoms. You can always bottom pick, but let's just see if we can play the momentum. And again, we can't give this one too far, man. 24, I mean, because I still think the Palantir could tank again. 24.35 break, we'll get out of it, but let's see if it gives us an opportunity to get our money back here, back up to 25 on Palantir.
I'm doing some backflips here, and I'm going to say one word for this trade: informer. That's all I can say about Snow. You guys aren't going to understand the rest of those lyrics. But 360 break, we took the high day break at 358. Just got some out on the north side. Again, scalping $3 and then looking to hold the rest. This time, I'm not going to send some ridiculous trail at break even, like some arbitrary price like a tool. We're going to hang on to this one. I keep saying 375 is possible because this stock defies my expectations. Every single trade I've ever taken on it. Let's see if that can't continue. It's already 10 o'clock somehow. Let's get over to the big screen for Happening Now.
Hey guys, yeah, first 30 minutes in the books. Let's have a look at North American markets here. You can see nicely positive top to bottom right across the board. S&P 0.45%, the Dow 0.35%, the NASDAQ about the same, 0.3 to 0.4. It's been in a bit of a range since the open. The Russell, a full percent, 0.94% here for small caps, having quite the morning. TSX here in Toronto, about 0.4%, same story. The BOVESPA also in positive territory if you're joining us down in Brazil, 1.25% for Brazil stocks. We were talking about this one, guys. A few things from the watch list to keep in mind. Walgreens, WBA, mentioned CNBC reported that they don't know anything about some sort of merger with this company. So big flush right at the open to 41.50, but right back up to where we started the day. Now positive again, guys, on WBA, 0.8% in fact to the upside for this one. Shift over to Carnival. Initial strength on some of the travel names kind of being faded off now, coming down to these initial lows. I was going to say pre-market, but already broke those. Initial lows coming into play here for CCL. So travel names are fading off. Guys, back over to you.
Yeah, okay. Well, good look there. Let's look at CCL in a minute. Oh, okay. I missed some things here. New member, Mikias Gurma. Thank you so much. And then thank you so much for a Canadian friend here. Oh, same one. Thank you. I watch your show every day, but I don't understand what exactly you guys are trading. I need a breakdown, please. Okay, well, we're trading equities. We don't trade CFDs here. We're back and forth. We're using Daytrade the World proprietary software here. You can look it up, daytradetheworld.com. It's a prop floor. So we're trading firm capital, and we get paid a percentage percentage of what we make, obviously. If you guys know anything about prop trading, you can look that up. But Day Trade the World's who we're using. Yeah, we go back in and out here. Equities, guys. It's not CFDs. We do get a lot of questions about that. These are real shares. These are real level 2s. This is really stock that's going through. So that's what we trade. And I hope that answers your question. And thank you so much for the super chat. If not, maybe super chat another $1 or something. I can see what you wanted from that, and I'll get to you. But thank you so much for becoming a new member and for asking us about that.
Absolutely, and there's no such thing as a dumb question. We love them all. That's what we're here for. Look, I had the good short in the pre-market on HESH, and now it's running to the upside golf scratch. I hope that means you're long. You're excited about it. One of our members looking at this. This top break, we talked about $495. I don't like a $488 pre-market top break because 5 even is sort of right on the horizon. But there's no news here. Just keep that in mind. It's one of those runners. There's nothing to see. At some point, it's going to be a short, but the breakout is on. I expect some halts if we get a 5 break. Brendan, what's up?
Fastly, guys, fan favorite here starting to go. Big volume coming into Fastly as well. Just broke 86. We're right back to the top end of the daily chart range here, 3%. There's rumors floating around on the internet that Cisco might be interested in Fastly, guys.
Oh, God. Yeah, we've loved Fastly for a bit, and it's nice to see that Cisco's trying to get involved, FSLY. Okay, here comes Palantir, right back to the downside. We talked about watching out for this, and here it comes, right back to that level where we bounced off of their 235. We didn't get out. We're going to wait for 24.25, but that was a dangerous slope here with Palantir. I mean, look at this, man. The liquidity is very dry. You have like 6 or 7 cent spreads when it starts to move. So, yeah, they know about this name, and it's a runner when it can be, but it's been a slippery slope today for us on Palantir. We've basically missed pretty much every time. We got it there. We got out at 75. That was a good little run, but that's only 10 cents, and now we got to suffer through this. So 24.25, I have to get out before we test 24 again.
Yeah, and just watching Fastly, Lizzie, guys, a bit of a break as well, so I did get into this one. Fastly pulling back into VWAP. I'm going to like this one in front of 85. We get a shot at this on a bit of a dip. We just cruised back through 362, so back to $3 in the money on Snowflake. I still want this thing to test 370 to 375, but I will take a shot on Fastly in front of VWAP here. Just give it back to like 85 even. I'd love to be adding to this position around 85.50 to get myself a better price, but beggars can't be choosers. You get what you get. I didn't take the long break on HGSH. I'm still looking for a chance to be able to short that name, guys. That's just the approach I'm going with. And then Lizzie, I just told you, this is yesterday's action. They got that deal, of course, with XPEV. And look, the retracement was on. It couldn't hold those highs. It broke 4 even. I got into the short here. Actually got a great price, 401. On the way back in when it retested that level, bit of a chop. So nice entry point on LIZI. Brendan, what's up?
I mentioned this one earlier, guys. This STPK is the SPAC. They're taking that company STEM public, which is an AI-based clean energy company. So we've seen the popularity lately in clean energy names. You put AI in that as well, and you get a 38% move for this SPAC, guys. STPK.
All right, we're gonna reload our water up here. So we are long Fastly right now, 86 break. So we'll give that a little bit of room. But notice the spread, guys, obviously on some of that news, spiked up from 84. So let's just see if it has any legs. We did take a little bit of shares there through 86. We're gonna wait to see what happens. I do have an order to the upside just in case it does test that again. And then we'll wait to see if it breaks high. But we will take out some profit here on the upside if it does get to go. We're small in Boeing, but just waiting to see if it does come back and test this bottom. It's really no harm, no foul on that one. And then Palantir, we're still waiting for downside of 24.25, looking for it to get upside there. But yeah, so far not so good on some of these current positions, but we do have Fastly now, 86.10. So
let's go.
Let's see how high this one wants to go.
And SCIIC, the symbol, look, I told you guys I bungled the name of the company because the symbol's different. Just broke that 27.50, got long. There was didn't get the dip buy, of course. We talked about it. You miss it. But the top break is on here. HGSH, the top break happened, but I didn't take that either. How has nobody said anything about the random red cup or yellow cup on Sean's desk? I think it's a little bit interesting because you see the same things there every day, and now you got a yellow one. You're messing me up there, Sean.
Yeah, someone mentioned about it that it was a Pikachu.
Okay.
This is my wife's corksicle, if you guys have corks. So my Yeti, I forgot it here yesterday. Shout out to the housekeeping that wound up cleaning it for me. Thank you to Raquel for that one. But yeah, the corksicle today, she didn't want me to go without a cup. So, you know, yellow. I think it's kind of cute. It's actually my son's favorite color, yellow. So, okay, there goes Laser. We did take some shares there through $30.15, through $30. So let's see how high this one wants to fly. Laser right now, Luminar, guys.
Luminar, the real Luminar. Just got to let you guys know, do not look at the one on the OTCX. The CIIC on that break. Now, if it comes back and retests 27, this is where I look for a bit of a dip buy opportunity. I want to be buying dips on this stock, and when you catch a bit of a breakout and your preference is to buy dips, like on Palantir, have an area that you like to see if you can add some shares, and it'll be 27 for me. Fastly just made another push, but it's having some trouble at that 87 area, guys.
Yeah.
So I'm sort of thinking here, maybe I should be taking some off in front of the top, and then you can always add back in on a break, because it's now a double top, guys. You look at 86.90, double top, you can add back into those shares either on a dip to VWAP, which I'll do, or breakout through 87. So I'm going to take half out, look to re-enter that one fastly. Brendan, thank you. What else you got?
The other side of that Luminar story, guys, the Velodyne aspect of that, VLDR, we mentioned this one yesterday, popped up, also having quite the day to the upside, 12% here for VLDR, guys.
Come on, Laser. Let's go, baby. Bang! What a win on Laser. Up right now, 75 cents. Like we just got out there, $30.69. We got this was a mistake when we got in, so we're still into this one. That was out of 10% there. We just got out of another 20% on the upside. Let's see which kind of room this one has now going. Luminar, Laser. Your boys in this one. Finally, you're right, Shakib, man. We hydrated ourselves and then bang, everything's starting to go now. Fastly, a great out. We're out of half of that one now. Upside, I told you we'd get out near this high. So a best out there, 86.75, and we're still going. And then we did get Palantir almost came back. So we did get some out 55s again on the upside of our 64 long. So a little bit of drop off there for some profit capturing on the downside there. We want to sort of, it's not a profitable trade, sorry. We're limiting our downside risk is what I meant to say there by getting some off for a 10-cent hit. I'm fully aware that this will probably crack down there. That's just the way the day's been going on Palantir. But here goes Laser. Luminar for the win, guys. Do a couple backflips upside.
Don't ever say Luminar. You got to say Laser. That's what, look, I love that trade. It's a monstrous one there, Sean. But the question I got to ask
My wife doesn't like gold member. I don't know why.
Is it going parabolic is the real question.
It's trying to go parabolic, but we're going to have another drink here, and let's go over to Brendan.
Another Chinese name getting some activity here, WIMI. Guys, we've looked at this one before, 12% for WIMI. Again, no significant news on WIMI that I can see as well, guys.
Too many of them, Brendan. You can't keep, look, actually, no, I'll never say that. I almost just said you can't keep giving us so many hot names, but keep them coming. I wasn't looking. Brendan does heavy work here with that pre-market list, but CIIC, there's the break. I just got some out on the north side of 28 there, so 28.37. We just got some out, so a quick little 75-cent win. If it goes $1, I'll take more out around that 28.50. There was no dip buy on this because it just kept screaming to the upside. Some great long opportunities today. If you haven't caught them, you can see all the positions there. I feel like I haven't seen the profits. I don't know what the schedule is for when they do roll over, but you do see those throw in. I got to ask you guys at some point what the timing is on that, because I feel like I never see them when I look up.
Yeah, me too, actually. But they are there. We've looked at that before. Okay, Laser. We're going to tweet this one out as well. Big time win. Look, I trade the big caps, small caps, everything. Anything that's moving. Shout out to Brendan for bringing us Laser Quest here. As we go to poor Laser Quest, they went bankrupt. I don't know if you guys. It's a Canadian company. They used to fire the lasers. Neil, you probably went to one.
Dude, there was Laser Quest that I absolutely owned in our hometown.
Yeah.
I was like an infinite champion there. You couldn't touch me because I knew the course like the back of my head. That's way too long ago. Brendan, what's
Shout
up?
out. What up, Beep?
Beat?
Nope, not Brendan. Okay, Palantir, look, we're right near that drop spot again. We talked about our wins and our losses there. So Palantir, again, looks like we'll fall on our face. I'm going to flush myself down the hole on this one because it's my lowest stock today. And I don't know, I feel like we should be making money on Palantir. Maybe I should stop trading the book there because we are long at $9, $9.56 or something in Palantir on the long-term account. But here we're not doing so great. Today. Fastly, guys, big time trade, breaking the high. Your boy has this one, so we turned bullish on Fastly right now. There we go. The bulls are coming right. Don't run me over. There we go. 87.20. I love Fastly. We also talked about this one for a longer term play down near 75 when they warned there, and it just kept tanking Tank City on Fastly. But here we go, guys, making new highs. Time to get out of some more here on Fastly.
Yeah, and snow more. Really, Greg? Snow more? I have snow more puns. That's what he wanted me to say. Actually, that's not that bad. Continuing to grind
don't mind
higher,
that.
all-time highs. It's pretty bad. 365 is just broken, so we're now like $7 in the money. I got shaken out of the 350. That's probably inexcusable. It's definitely inexcusable. Shouldn't have happened. We got back into it on a 358 top break. Let's see if we can finally get to that 70 to 75 mark. No trailing stop. I'll play it by ear. One that's not going to work out for me is I fought this random HGSH. A pre-market trade was good, but I just went short again, and then it broke the high. So I am going to back off of this. I will let it either start halting or do another crazy parabolic move up to jump into a short. I got no levels on it. Fastly, like you said, Sean, broke to that 87. I took out my long at 85, at 80, then got in, and now my new position is the 87 break. So it's a new position. We already have the win on the dip. Let's see if there's any follow-through in Fastly the way Snowflake is going. Wow, 10-10, guys. So let's get to Brennan. It's time for some upgrades and downgrades.
Hey guys, more symbols coming your way. Let's have a look at upgrades on this side. Downgrades over there. This was actually a price target cut. Not a downgrade, but Boeing to the downside today. A couple of analysts making moves on BA, but ATI, DocuSign, something called Funko is up 14%. We'll have a look at that. Michaels has been active the past couple of days. We mentioned that one yesterday. And the two airlines over on this side, Delta and UAL. We'll shift over and have a look at a couple of these if I can. Doesn't look like I can. Oh, there we go. A little bit delayed. It's Friday. DocuSign, guys, 7.25% to the upside still, but we've come from 256 all the way back to 246. Basically, these levels from aftermarket is what I wanted to show you there. 246 was a bit of an area yesterday. Aftermarket. I was going to show you the UAL chart as well, but things having a little bit of issues today, guys, on the technology side. Back over to you.
All right. Maybe it's Palantir that's running our board over there, having some issues with stuff. Okay, there goes Fastly. Bang! Nice little win on that one. We take a little bit more out at 87.10, but now we're going to the high side. We still have that one. Okay, the reason why I bring up Palantir, we just took a long here at 14, waiting to see if it breaks through 24, which I think it's going to do, why would you go long? I just think the risk reward here makes sense, and I didn't want to take it too low. We did go down to 24.05. Obviously, now's a good spot, but that 24, look at the size there. It's not even that juicy. It's only about 1 million shares downside at 24 there. So this one looks like it probably will break, and then we'll get out of that one for the worst trade of the day, worst symbol of the day for sure. Goes Palantir here, as I've just been losing on this one. It's not, net-wise, it's fine. I'm not putting too much equity into it. Maybe it was this trade off the open that we really had the most shares on. But yeah, Palantir today. Good notes on the chat there. I think someone said it's third straight Friday negativity on Palantir. So okay,
Great look, guys.
We'll remember that for next time. But already lost money today.
That is the power of the community. I mean, this is what I love about it. The larger the community is, the more of you guys that are watching, the more symbols we're going to all notice that are worthy of trades and patterns. We got to pick those things up. I love it. I'm going to file that one away because I find myself giving back the early one on Palantir as well. So it is what it is. Lizzie breaking that 4 even. I still haven't been able to get out of any of this trade. It's bounced off of 390 where I'm literally sitting here on the bid a couple of times. So I might have to just accept that I'll take like 5 to an 8 cent win on the first 20% of this position and then see if it can fall further. Let's remember where this thing came from. I really kind of felt like, good shot to get to 350, maybe even a 3 even by the end of the day if it pulls back. Yeah, good for you. You got to deal with XPED, but you saw how crazy it went to the upside. When it couldn't hold those gains, I felt it was going to be a short day today. That's why we have the short on. Back to flat on Fastly, and CIIC continues to pull back in. Now, I took some out on the way back towards that 28. If it does hold at 27.60, definitely worth a look for a dip buy there. But we're ways away from VWAP, and I don't want this to give this all the way back into 27. That would be a little bit crazy, guys. So might have to cover this in one around 40 and look for a better re-entry price. We did want 25 this morning, and we were talking about that, Sean. So paying up to 27.50, you can't hold it all the way back to the price you love.
No, and we just got like a horrible wick down there, I believe, on Palantir. Yeah, like we got 85s there, so we went back long off that failed rejection. So we're back to the long on Palantir, but we did break 24. I just wonder if that was the fail spot there. So we'll hold this for a little bit more here and see if we can't make some money back here on PLTR. That was a bad wick, so we did reload it back at 24. So let's see if it wants to go high side now. Palantir bad. Oh, I did want to say thank you for the Cloudera shout out there. CLDR off the open. We did talk about some of those levels, so good one look. And thank you again, Monkey Shiner, for the call on Laser. I'm going to look at some of those little smaller cap ones a little bit more because Laser right now still 75 cents in the money, and we get out as high as 31.35. Going to get out of this one if it breaks back down below 30.50 though. But great call on Laser. Thank you for bringing that up. As well. We're really happy about that one. 30.50 is going to be the outspot. Brendan.
Earnings news, guys. We'll get through some of these as well. PagerDuty reported aftermarket yesterday. No, they don't make pagers. This is a software as a service company. 17.5% still this morning, but we are kind of coming back down to session lows here for PD. Big move recently, though, on the daily chart for PagerDuty, guys.
All right. What do we have on fast?
So, of course, Snowflake actually got to like 369. Couldn't get to that 370 mark and break into my target range. So I was looking for it to break 70s. Wherever it failed and turned over, I would have thrown a stop in 70s or just manually got out. That would have been nice, but we're rolling over a little shy of that. The uptrend is still clear. I do want to try to hang on to this trade. I'm still don't have a trailing stop on this yet. That burned me earlier. I'm trying not to have the same thing happen again. I feel like, I've seen the stock, the sky be the limit, and that could still be true. A couple of names that I feel like I want to get back to. I got shook like, I don't know, anybody with Allen Iverson when he had his crossover, but shook out of XPEV here. Man, that really started to come back in. It is taking out that low right now, holding below 50 even. So it is what it is. You're going to have those hits. But the pre-market bottom now being tested, that 49.75, guys. We get below that and hold an offer. Below that and 50, probably worth a look here. Could be one of those, free fall Friday for this name. I mean, the market's headed upside.
Let's go bullish, guys, because the market just breaks all-time highs right now on the ES. So congratulations to everybody that's been hella long this market. Big move, and thanks to Brendan for bringing that up as well. 36.87 there, cracks all-time highs now on the ES. So dancing gorillas for you guys today, because that's a good trade there if you've been long anything, any equities in the last month. We talked about getting long in December, and there you go, good trade. Laser breaks down below. That's going to be one of my best trades today. Upside there, about $1.50. Each one of these is 20%. So you can see that was a mistake getting out through 30. I don't even know what happened. I think I put the wrong order in. And then bang, bang, bang to the upside, just straight up since we got in. So good trade on that one. It's just, I'm so frustrated with Boeing. We have a very, very small position right now, but like the market at all-time highs, Boeing's a pretty big stock, and I just don't know why this is not going. We saw a big move yesterday, 7%. I think out of ties, and then now today giving back a little bit. So we're going to get out if it breaks this bottom. We've already talked about that. It's a very, very small position. I'm going to dance with the devil a little bit here at 33.50 again if we can, but that's going to be a little bit of a problem. Palantir falling back down, the stock that I'll probably never trade again on a Friday, apparently. Palantir downside again for me. Really the only losing stock we have is Palantir and Boeing today, and that's the facts. Docu, a big trade for DocuSign today early, 248 off the open, out 251, out 254. So, I mean, if I just don't have Palantir today, then we are monstrous once again. But we do, and yeah, we've been perfect. 2 negative days in November, a perfect December, but it looks like here on Friday, I'm still going to get to positive for sure today, but that's how confident I am, but we'll see if that does come through. But so far on the show, Nepa, we're negative. Let's go.
Sean, so I've been told that dancing with the devil is only a problem if done in the pale
moonlight. Yes, it is a problem.
Yeah, you know that.
It was almost a full moon this last weekend, so we're going to watch that. Joker, a pretty good movie too.
It is a fantastic movie. Snowflake is a fantastic stock, apparently. Thank you, guys. Thank you for the super chat there. Rubles, we got some rubles there. Please check Macy's. I will do that.
Rubles, yeah, we're going to India, baby.
But 370 just broke on Snowflake, guys. So this is what I was looking for. It's into my target range. If it can hold the bid, I'd love to see it test up to 75 where I would get out. I actually have an order in the middle of this range. But if it breaks down below, I'm going to have to get out of this one. Probably in the 68 range for a $10 winner. But if it gives me the 12 to 15, that's what it's all about. Snowflake, you shook me once. You didn't shake me twice. We got the nice little winner on here. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and see if we can't take it off. I don't know what the math is. I feel like someone knows what that actually is in Canadian or US.
Yeah, I want to say thank you to Nikita so much for that. Okay, Damn it! I was too busy watching Palantir there. Oh, here's Nikita. Thank you. I'll show him on the screen. Thank you so much for the 1,000 rubles there.
La femme,
please check
Nikita.
Macy's. I will, fine, sir. I'll do that right now. But I just want to talk about what the heck what just happened to me there. Okay. Palantir came out. We just talked about getting long through the bottom here of 233.50. I said the ES was at all-time highs. Why was not Boeing? Instead of talking about it, Neil, why didn't we execute on it? I have no idea. I'll talk about Macy's when we get back from B Wicked.
So we're doing it for them, that's why.
Yeah, you're right. Brendan?
Eventually, it'll kick in here, guys. We'll go to small cap world. I want to talk about Cloudera. I know Cloudera does sneak into the mid cap group, but this was a great trade, both on the long side and then a short opportunity as well. $13 here. The resistance in the aftermarket yesterday ended up being dead center, or the pivot in the pre-market this morning. So you could have used that on the long initially. Anytime you see that kind of a sharp reversal and get through all of these significant levels, that is worth a look on the short side every single time. So 13 there, 1280 at the bottom was support. This got all the way down to 1210. So a great trade on the short side as well as the initial long on CLDR. Let's go over to this one. Lizzie, Neil's been mentioning this one. Huge move down yesterday. That's what clued me in to look at this one today. The weakness that we saw in this name in the afternoon yesterday, we get below this support level from yesterday afternoon, and this thing's just been grinding southbound the entire session for that LIZI. The other one to mention is this HX. We talked about it in the pre-market. One of those crazy Chinese stocks this morning that was going nuts. This one was initially weak, where the other HGSH was in that one as well. Didn't work out, but this one was initially weak when the other one was still kind of grinding to the upside. So that got my attention there. Nice move down to 280 from anywhere in the kind of 340, 350 area on HX. Guys, back over to you.
And as good as this, I feel like this looks, we did get that last trade out on Snowflake and made that 13.5-ish dollar winner. Approximately, just a little bit less than that. I feel like it's not going to age well because this stock just feels like it wants to go to 400 on day one. I couldn't believe that almost $100 move. I mean, technically $100 from the list price, but like $70 in real time. Some great trades on this floor, but 375 is fastly approaching here, quickly approaching here, and it looks like it's going to do a continuous break. I do not even want to think. I'm going to pull this chart away so I don't think about shorting it because that would be crazy on this day. CIIC, however, still have a piece to this one as it's testing through 29 even. So about $1.30 in the money here. I did take a bunch out on the way up. First at 28.50, of course, a bit of resistance. So, like 70 cents to 90 cent winners. Now we're looking to ride this one all the way back to a trail here at this pullback range, 27.75. The last quarter cannot be a losing trade here. Now, I think 30 is an obvious target. We get to that price, we'll take it out in front of it, but a great one. This was also on the watch list, which we give out for free. I don't know what else we can do here, guys, but it's been an awesome week. CIIC to the moon. Lizzie still stalling out. That 390 buyer. It just won't break this buyer at 390. I need it to go down more.
Lizzie, okay, 87.28 right now. Fastly, man. I mean, we'll floss this one up. Like, I keep saying the day is bad. It's not that bad. It's just Palantir again. Like, if I don't have this one, I mean, it would be monster, but I'm not going to, keep talking about it other than I'm probably going to get long again at some point, which is going to be a mistake because these are all longs, man. The only short that we had right there was okay. So we did make some money on the short, but all of these longs busted pretty much. And now of course, we're all the way back up, but we still were long here going through 24. So big mistake on that one, but we're making it all back anyways. Not all of it, but we are still negative. Fastly's a nice runner there. And then Boeing, like why I didn't pick this up down here at 233, I'll have no idea. I said I'd check Macy's, so let's do that. Okay, again, thank you so much for that super chat right there. Still up on our board. 1,000 rubles, they're still up there, so that's good. I don't, maybe it's a little bit more money there. David, thank you so much for becoming a member as well. Oopsies, I just shrunk that chat. Got to put that up so I can see the chat. Okay, Macy's at $11. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. I had no idea we were this juicy right here on Macy's right now. So $11 10.50. Look, 11.62 is a nice little high there. I believe we're well above now, obviously, the 50-period moving average back down here at 7. Watch out for this top. We've already made these tops 10.67. I don't know which way you're talking about here for Macy's, but I would actually hold this long. I mean, it's a rebound trade. Their headquarters in New York. If we can get back going, we know what can happen to Macy's. I know their online is not great, but they're trying to get that going. We saw Nordstrom's take off. I made a call on that as well. And then now Macy's. I'll give a shout to Brendan right now if he can find the short percentage on Macy's, and we'll talk about that a little bit as well. But it's a beautiful base right here. If I can just zoom in a little bit here on Macy's. It's a nice little base, 10.50. So I think as long as we don't retest back below 10, this stock is a good one to go. And I'm really actually surprised that I didn't load up down here because I do like Macy's. These are great bottoms, like back to July, August, September, and then again in October, November. Great bottoms there. If you have that, congratulations. Now I think Macy's is off to the races. Just watch out for that 10 spot, and thank you again for the super chat. Means a lot.
Yeah, I think the longer that it chops in and around that 10 to 11, the better the break is going to be. But just watch out for this that 13.50. There could be some chop into that zone if it gets there. I'm all out now in CIIC. I don't have a button for it, so we'll just slay the dragon on this name. Like I said, again, another one from a watch list. 30 even is the current high. I took it out at 29.74. The break was right here, 27.50. I got 60s, 62. So it's a nice win. We'll take out the take out what'll end up being like a 230 winner on the last of that position. Most of it we were getting out in front of 28.50 guys. But a good run on CIIC, a good name. We did love the idea of a dip buy, but it never really came into fruition. If you had just thrown a bid and closed your eyes in front of 25, maybe at 50s, yeah, you would have gotten it at the open. Not the way I would play it at 9:30 and seconds after the open. So didn't get that. Got the breakout trade fantastically. Brendan, what is up, buddy?
Just checking on Safety Group, SFET. We've looked at this one many times, but just popping up here on volume, 7.5%. Safety Group back above $1. This thing was below. Wow. We haven't looked at it in a while, but it used to be around $10, $12 for Safety Group. But news on this one, guys.
I was wondering about that. Yeah, I don't remember it being that price, but okay. Safety Group. We just took out a little bit of Fastly there. What was the ticker again, Brendan?
SFET.
SFET. Oh, right. Okay, over here on the NASDAQ, let's have a quick look because we like this one, $1.13. Wow, come on, chart. Let's go on this if we can. Chart. Up 8%. Yeah, nice little move upside. Yeah, it was $1 there. Okay, up $1.15. On the daily chart, it's okay. I don't know if any of you guys are in this one. 1.43 million shares. Here it was, nice little bottom, 90 cents. Look for this, man. Yeah, actually, Brendan, good look here. What is this? $1.20, $1.16 or 15 here. Yeah, this is a good little break here. 115. Let's take this, guys, on Safety Group.
Yeah, just saying, throwing a chat there. HGSH has made another high. Look at me. That's the top wick, baby. That's what I do sometimes when I go short. But if it breaks that 465, I'm going to jump into another one here. This consolidation, normally I'd take it if there'd been a parabolic move into the high or a halt. That hasn't happened, so I am going to wait for some real confirmation on this name to the south side. I would be trading Sundial a little bit more, or I mean heavily. I haven't actually taken an execution. Well, I took one execution in it on the pre-market, but nothing doing here. I think really, unless you're going to be market making, collecting rebates, if you have the ability to do that off of like 68 to 71, probably the only way you're going to play it. It's very, very range bound, but the volume is still 200 million. So if you had those advantages, something you can certainly consider doing on a 70-cent stock. 1 or 2 pennies is actually not a bad return as long as your fees are low or zero, basically zero. Or you can get paid to trade like we do if you add liquidity. So Sundial, it's worth it under only those conditions.
I'm going to take out this Boeing right now, I think, here, if we can. There we go. We're out of Boeing right now, just at that view up. I'd rather dance with this one down here. So we'll wait to see if we can get it back to the downside here, Boeing. There's a good out, I think, for the trade. So we close down Boeing. Boeing negative today, Palantir negative today. Everything else rocking and rolling, man. We already took some out at 19. Look at this one, Brendan. Thanks for the shout out there. Where's my Brendan? We'll hit the chicken dinner winner. We haven't done that in a bit. It's not a big trade, but that's okay. 116 in, 119 out. We'll take that. We're still holding it. So the trade is not done yet. here on safety net. We'll see if it's going back to the downside, but 109 or so is going to be the breaking spot on that one. And people call us the masters of risk management. 109 looks like a good one, but here it comes fading back in. That's why you definitely take some out there at the top. Let's see what Safety Group wants to do, Brendan.
Okay, guys, I want to show you this one first. Oxy, we talked about Halliburton earlier, but look at Oxy as well. Like just straight to the upside. 10%, in fact, just broke $18 there for Oxy on a huge volume spike. So a nice look still for some of these energy names really leading the way so far. Valeria is watching what is going on over in Europe. About an hour left in the session over there. V, what's up?
Hey Brandon, European shares are trading higher today on the signs of positive results with US stimulus deal. Berkeley trading in London is down more than 1% after reported a 16.6% fall in first half profit. Back to you.
Yeah, interesting news on Aston Martin. We'll update it coming up at 11 o'clock as well. They're talking about the possibility of an electric Aston Martin, guys.
Yeah,
Wow, well, that's a surprise. I mean, who the hell
Bentley's going all electric.
Yeah, who's making electric vehicles anymore these days?
Tesla.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Surprise. Maybe we'll get involved with some SPACs. Oh, there goes safety net all the way to 122 there. So a nice little trade, man. Well, you know, I'm going to hit this one. We'll floss this one off as it keeps going to the high side there. Maybe worth taking some out now if we can get that 22. But a good trade there. And thanks, Brendan, for bringing that to our attention. That's why we did a little bit of a longer term look there on Safety Group, because we were not sure about that. And there it is right there. There's the break. We go all the way back to October 15th for that. So thank you for bringing that out, Brendan. We'll take this 5 cents and we'll see if it gives us a little bit more.
And just because I heard Tesla thrown out there, it's back to flat on the session. It did try to get to that 600, stalled out at 597.50. Maybe we can get there today. I still like it. Of course, we're talking about 600 or 3,000 because I love that movie. Bernie Mac fan myself, but we'll get it when it happens. 600 hasn't come in yet. I was looking for a bottom break in XPeng here. It didn't happen. Bounces off that 49.50, so bit of a fail breakout if you were using the pre-market levels. I like to round those, and it didn't happen for us. There's a shot, and if I was a little more bullish, maybe I'd be thinking about taking a 50 long here, but I still am maintaining I'd rather short through the bottom on XPEV today, so that's probably going to be the only trade. Looks like CIIC coming back down. We got a good exit there. Lizzie is just, I don't know, it did break through very, very briefly that 390 buyer, and I was able to get some shares out. Of course, I'm short of 401. You can see I have bids all the way to 350, where I thought it would go, but immediately snaps back and consolidates above that 390. So once again, that's why I try to bring it to your attention, because anyone bullish on the stock, there's somebody buying it at 390, and it's certainly not me because I'm short. Brendan, what's up?
Ollie's Bargain Outlet, one of those names that we typically only pull up and look at around earnings. They reported aftermarket yesterday. Not so good. Just had a huge volume spike there at 82. Ended up being a bit of a resistance here, but on the way back down for OLLI, guys.
Ollie's, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I know anything about Ollie's, but
Ollie oxen free.
Yeah, exactly. We know some rhymes, but okay, Safety Group. I didn't know anything about that one, and we've taken up some nice couple trades on there, so that was a good name as well. Okay, so Fastly. I mean, yes, sir, we go bullish. Whenever you hear buyouts or you hear names like that, we got to look over to Fastly and have a quick look and take that trade. And we actually, this was quite a decent position because I know Fastly. You guys know that I know that stock. We've talked about this a couple times on the show, and you know, I've recommended this one as a buy down in the 70s, and now here it goes upside. You know what we haven't looked at yet today? One of my favorites and another position that we're holding is DraftKings. Why have we not looked at DraftKings today? Oh, this is why. A nothing burger. DraftKings does this off the open all the time. It goes one way, comes back. I don't want to say all the time. It looks like a perfect, it's inverted V, I guess, or like a little A if I put a little line there. But yeah, like up, back, straight back down, and now it's trying to break. So I would say 50-50 might be a spot there. Let's check out on another favorite of mine to trade that we just haven't really been doing much. There's just been a lot to trade today, and that's Nikola. Again, wow, a big move down, then back up on Nikola. Yeah, okay, we're fighting 5 million shares, decent spot there. We'll look a little longer term on some of these plays, but right now, Nikola, I think we'd rather look at NEO. Is NEO approaching 100 million shares yet, or what? 70 million. Watch out. I still like NEO. It gets ramped up. What a great bottom that was at 43. Should have took more of advantage on that one, but watch this 43.50 break. More work to come on NEO, but I like it. And there goes Fastly, Neil, as we go dancing gorilla for this one. Still.
Attaboy. I got shaken out of Fastly there. I'm still up on the stock, but like I got shook the first time on Snowflake. It happens when you put a trail in, but I'm glad you still have that one on because there wasn't too much of a reason to get out of it with that potential news. Now, going back into deal news, I can't believe we had Mark on. We're talking about Walgreens, Boot Alliance. Brendan comes with the news. We said maybe there'd be a shot to dip by. Keep your ear to the ground in case they deny or say that there's no follow-up or no one's hearing any real chatter. But there was a great dip by for you, down around 41.50. Now, obviously, I would have liked a little bit deeper, but look at where we stalled out. Right at the pre-market top. This is shy of where we got yesterday, but this pre-market high, 43.50. You know, a couple of ways you can play this. I think at this time of day, you might look for a fade off of that level. Certainly potential breakout. Here's the trouble with the break at 43.50. You have yesterday's high, pennies away from it. So I would hold off. I would cover a short in front of it, but I wouldn't take the long until it broke 43.70 for a nice little breakout style trade in the afternoon. Otherwise, short with impunity in front of that. Well, short in front of that offer. I shouldn't say with impunity. That's a little bit. That's overstating it, obviously. HGSH. Okay, so I'm going to try this one at some point again. What I'm trying to do here is be patient with it. The move up was a good one. I should have at least been thinking about a breakout long here, but either way, I still got to come below that 465 mark for me to get short or make a stronger move up. This looks like a good consolidation, but it's still grinding higher. I actually somehow pre-market got bottom wick. I never in a million years thought that was going to be the bottom when I got out. I thought it was definitely heading further. 465 goes, I'll go short. If the top gets broken, I will take my hands out the keyboard and resist it till I get a halt to the upside, or maybe an obvious level like a 650 or a 7 that holds off. Brandon, what's up?
A little biotech just popping up here. Evogene, EVGN. This one's been strong the past little while, going back a month or so. But you can see volume popping into this one through 420. That day high got taken out. 16% for EVGN, guys.
Yeah, I'm just typing here in the chat because a couple money signs there, money faces. What does that mean when I put that little money face there, guys? But Fastly right now, $2.50 now in the money as we break 88.50, still going high side here on Fastly. Great trade there. And again, thanks to Brendan for bringing that Cisco news. I think it was Cisco. I don't care who it was, but nice little move to the upside here on Fastly.
Actually, I think you do. Sometimes you do care because there's certain acquirers that you just know if they're involved, they tend to get it done. That's why you should double like that one in Fastly, in my opinion. So I love that trade.
Yeah, double. Yeah, so Brendan, they're confirming, like of course, Cisco. So good call on that one, Brendo. And thank you for the win, man. I mean, $2.50. I shall take it, they say. So good little one there. It's stalling a little bit at 88.50, sorry. That's probably going to be a good trade here. So let's do a little bit more work and just maybe get out right now, and then we can celebrate after because nice little win here. Maybe we'll give it back to here, 88.25. Let's see if it pulls back just a little bit, 88.25. Otherwise, let's let this thing run just a little bit more. But Fastly, nice one. Thank God for that as we explode the money. And we're back, baby. It's been a hard day for me on Palantir, as Palantir really my only negative stock today. We did slip up a little bit on Boeing, but that was okay. It just didn't do anything. So no real big losses there. Palantir was been a bad one for us. SFET, no problem. Laser got lasered up there. That was a good trade. And then, oh yeah, by the way, who's with me on DocuSign there? What a great trade this was off the open DocuSign. Let it fall all the way back down. Watch out. We're going to find another spot to get into with DocuSign right now. But look, it's been a big day. Thank you so much. We got the sweatshirts on. There goes Fastly, guys. Good thing we didn't get out back to 88.50 there. I think this is actually a good spot to get out. Let's get out of Fastly right here. No, it's still going. Okay, we'll give it back to that 88.25. Like we said, over with Brendan with Sector Watch. Let's see if we're missing one of them.
Hey guys, yeah, let's have a look at the overall S&P 500. It's going to be all about, we mentioned it right out of the gate this morning. Energy stocks really leading the way so far this morning for the market. The entire group, in fact. I'll switch over to this side so you can see. Anywhere from, I'll start down in this corner, 3.5% for KMI. Oxy is now 10% to the upside. So this entire group having anywhere from 3.5% to 10% moves today for the energy sector. So energy stocks definitely in charge to the upside. Capital goods sector of the industrials group having a nice day. Some of these other ones, though, not so much. The transportation group kind of lagging. It's basically break even. And commercial and professional goods as well. NLSN there, 2.7%. That's about it. But these ones here, HII, FTV, and WAB, 3.5% to the upside. Caterpillar there as well, and URI 2.75% to the upside. For the industrial sector, also having a positive day. Tech stocks are positive, being led by the semiconductors. Micron about 4.5%. Intel's here as well. We saw Intel, I think it was 2 days ago, had a big move to the upside. So 2% for Intel, 4.5% for Micron so far today. DXC here as well in the software group, 4.5%. Payc, IT, and Oracle also among the leaders. Hardware maker WDC, 4.8% today. Nice look for WDC. Banks are strong. We have material stocks also very, very strong. This is the material group here, all in positive territory. Consumer discretionaries are lagging. So you got to go to the retail group to kind of find something that's to the downside. This one here, RCL, that red box you can see there, 3.5% for Royal. But CCL, CCL is there, still in positive territory, 0.7%. Consumer staples and the communication stocks also break even to slightly lower on the day. But all about this one, guys. Energy stocks, big move today, 0.6% for the overall market. Back over to you.
So I'm going to do it again. I'm going to go long Palantir on a 24 break.
Dun, dun, dun.
What am I doing? Okay, 23.79 here maybe as the dropping off spot. If it does fail, it goes to 24 and stops. But okay, we're going to go on it. We're going to see if it can go on this one. We just tweeted out, look at SFET. Yes, sir. There it is, SFET for the nice little win there. We'll hit the air horn on that one because, yeah, that was just a fantastic look there. It turned out just to be exactly what we wanted on SFET. And again, guys, I didn't know much about this safety group, but then we go back. We go back and we see that 116, 115 was the July top, so that's where we took it. Okay, Palantir, I'm reloaded. That doesn't mean a good thing though, guys, because we're gonna wait to see what it does. Long at 24.05 on a 20. Like that's the thing. I get 24 breaks, I get 05. Like that basically goes to show that this is not my day here. We could have been a couple pennies better. It's okay. We're not doing huge shares, but let's see if we can get a retracement back to VWAP here. I don't think it's impossible. Let's get some out at the quarters if we can. First, we always trade around quarters, so let's see if we can do that. If not, guys, we're not going to give this too far back. 23.80 break, and we gone. We're not going to give this one a lot of room here, guys.
Absolutely. And I think someone said a couple of minutes ago in the chat, I noted it, Neil, Snow's at 375. What are you going to do? Now, remember, I gave a target area 370 to 375. When it entered that target range, I was looking to take it off somewhere in front of that. I was never really holding that long through 75. The first consolidation or dip inside the range, I either would have trailed back out of it at 370, or if I'm able to do so, get out somewhere in that middle. So I am flat now on Snowflake. We did have a couple of longs early on. Man, it would have been nice to have been looking at the pre-market top break. I'm trying to figure out why I wasn't looking at that instead, like that 350. I mean, I guess too addicted to the round number, probably. If it comes back down, now, it'd be ideally in a perfect world, it gets to 400 and you can short that off of that level, but we're not here and the world isn't perfect. It might actually be this 370 area. So it's failed to break through and hold too much above that 70 to 75 range. A couple of times it's tested through, stalled out here at 77, stalled out here at 78.70. If it gets back into that 70 to 75 and gives you consolidation on the low end without further breaks higher, I'm looking for a 370 short break. And maybe you scalp that one down to the 66, maybe down into VWAP. That would be what I'm looking for on Snowflake. I'm probably done with the long trade today, unless it looks crazy on a 380 break. And I'd certainly hunt for a 4. If that happens, I'd certainly look for a short of 400. Brennan, what's up?
Speaking of crazy, YALA, 15%. Look at this, was late to the party today. This thing was doing nothing for most of the morning and then just took off through 15, up to 17 in a straight line. All-time highs for this YALA. This is a recent IPO. This is a UAE tech company. They have a messaging app that's voice activated, so you don't even have to type, but huge move here for YALA, guys.
Yeah, I don't know about that one, but the last couple ones you've given me have been nice. So we definitely will look at YALA again. Okay, we still have that safety group. Palantir goes for us a little bit up to 15s and we don't take it, I told you we were trying to get out some around 20 there. So we'll wait to see if we can get that out, 24.20 or so, somewhere around there anyways. Maybe not exactly 20, but we'll get out some 18s, 17s, things like that, and then see about 25. You know that we like to take that out. But look at Fastly, Neil. I know you had this. You had the monster on Snowflake, but Fastly, I think this has been a good one, man. This is $3 now plus in the money on Fastly. Let's wait, man. This might have a 90 peg on it. I mean, I don't know if there was news, and again, sorry, Brendan. I know it was Cisco, but I don't know if it's speculation, what they're doing with this stock. But when we hear that one, and we know Fastly, and we trade Fastly, so we get into that right away. And then took it out a little bit here, 87s, which was nice. But now we're up to 90. So obviously should have held them all. But what a nice little win here for Fastly as it just keeps on going. And I'm going to let it keep going too. So I don't really have any expectations for this other than I'm going to get out if it breaks back down below 88.50. Other than that, man, we're going to hold this Fastly trade and see what happens.
And that is Fastly, whatever, moving up for you. I used to be fast back in the day, but I'm so slow. And our ability to get locates is so quick when we got to pay for them here at Day Trade the World. But I'm like chattering around to put my request in. I got them on YALA. Just as it was approaching that 17, Brendan brought to the attention. It starts turning around off that even dollar, and I'm like scrambling to get the shares shortable. I did miss a shot to get this at 75, but I got them now. So if if it pulls back maybe 15, 25 cents back into this range here, like the 70 to 80, I do want to try my hand at the short. That's the kind of pullback I'd play off of, especially because of the even dollar. Just because I paid for locates doesn't mean I have to go short, but I am looking for this YALA. Everything else Brendan's brought to the attention has been basically a winner in the last couple of days, so why not this?
Yeah, that's kind of my logic right now with a lot of these stocks. So yeah, good one there for that. We're trying to watch also AMD here a little bit. We've looked at that a couple times this week. And what a great, that's the problem with doing this, guys. You miss some of these stocks. Like, we're too busy looking at all of these other stocks and miss this. But this was such a great little bottom built down here. That was a nice base as well. And then breaks higher, right back to day's high. So good look on AMD. I'm going to take the long if it does break through this high, though. I do like that trade. What is that, 93? Yeah, let's go long on AMD through 93. Let's take a look at what the daily chart looks like on AMD. 93 not doing much, but we did top out there at 93 a couple days ago, and then the last couple days, 94, 95, 96. So what's the NASDAQ doing? ES breaking out. NASDAQ, of course, is the same symbol, but NQ here on our platform. So the NASDAQ making new highs as well. Yeah, I'm going to take a little baby long through 93 here. 92.90 to be exact on AMD, guys.
If you heard me groan, it was trying to get some more shares. It's HGSH. Yes, I am back at this one here. It cracks at 65, and so much for getting a 65 break or anything close to resembling it. I don't get any shares until down around 50, so paying a little bit here, which does alter the parameters. Obviously, if I know I'm giving it back to like a 70 area, you can't have as many shares in that case. I never got YALA, but it is, there it goes. I thought maybe I'd get a shot getting into that one in the 70s, but that's already come back down to 30s. But HGSH, I'm back into the short. First target down around this 425 mark. If it breaks that 4 even, and then hopefully that 360. We actually got the bottom in the pre-market, but that was at 9 o'clock. And it's 2 hours later, so different story here. Brendan, what's up?
My headline is taking a while to pop up. There we go. Eli Lilly having quite the day here. They're partnering up with United Health for a COVID-19 antibody trial. So I just saw LLY back towards the 148 area here, which is the top end of the range on the daily chart. So nice day for Lilly on that news, guys.
Definitely going to be. Oh, go ahead.
No, nothing. I don't have really anything to go here. I'm just waiting for things to happen. I mean, Palantir waiting to get stopped out again. Like, I don't know why I keep going long on this one. 23.75. We've already given that to you as a possible long or get out of our long here at break 24. It does go in the money for us, 15 cents. That's why, to lose 25 now. I mean, this was part of the risk management. It just hasn't paid off for us yet today on this name. So so be it on Palantir. But 23.75 is going to be the breaking spot on that one. And it's really the only negative stock that we have other than Boeing, which is small. But Palantir today not working out. Let's still see. I still think we could go higher. Yeah, we should have probably gone off of that one. We did hit it early, and then it failed. And I'm trying all of these longs. They're not huge positions, but a loss is a loss. It still hurts your P&L.
I got hit on XPeng, so I got a second negative stock, but I looked at this 49.50 and I still want to take the short through it. And I said, I'm not going to go long off that bottom if it holds it. It bounces to VWAP, so there's your retracement play. And then it's now bouncing again. So double bottom, triple bottom, whatever you want to call it at 49.50. I'm still looking to short through this price. But anyone bullish on it, I suppose that was definitely a good look. HDSH is grinding lower here. I'm only about 10 cents in the money. If it gets anywhere close to that 4.25, I will take some of it off here, maybe a third of it, maybe in the low 30s, something like that. And then I never got into that YALA, but it looks like that was a good retracement short, a good look by Brendan, and I'm sure he's got even more, but it is time for Money Talks. Let's go to him at the big screen.
Guys, yeah, let's go to currency land. We'll have a look at foreign exchange world today and see what is moving around. I put the Canadian dollar over on the chart there because it's had quite the impressive move this week. Anywhere from 75 or 76.5, I should say, at the bottom end of the range. Broke 78 cents this morning, guys. The Canadian dollar up more than 0.5% at one point, 78.1. Versus the U.S. dollar. We had GDP data in this country back on Tuesday that was much stronger than expected, even with the pandemic. So we've been on quite the tear over the past couple of days here for the Canadian dollar back to the upside. Across the board, there is some U.S. dollar weakness still kind of lingering. So a lot of these are in positive territory. The British pound up again today, almost back to that 135. The euro just basically break even, but it was higher. Early on this morning, Japanese yen's higher. Swiss franc to the downside. We have Australia and New Zealand lower today. If you remember the past couple of days, they have also had decent moves to the upside. Cryptocurrencies at the bottom here, not doing much today. Ethereum once again leading to the downside, 4%. Bitcoin 2.5%. We're kind of hovering around that 19,000 level once again today, guys. Back to you.
Thank you very much there, Brendan. And there, you know what? I feel like, have we not said this? You can see coming up there, guys. We do have Dennis Hancock, CEO, Mountain Valley. That is on the CSE. So make sure you tune in for this. We're always trying to bring you guys opportunities to learn about different sectors, different companies that you might find interesting. So keep your ears tuned in for that. I do have to jump back over to not Lizzie. I'll go to Lizzie in a quick second here, but HDSH. It is. Look, it's definitely consolidating, which gives me a little bit of concern here because you look at that grind higher. The fact that we're not testing this 420 low would give me some concern if it retested back up towards this my entry price. So, if it bounces here, I don't like giving it all the way to 475 or 480 like that. I'll give it maybe back to that 460 to 465 area. Just a tighter stop, given how strong it's looked already. If we punch through this down towards that 420 and get some out, I'm definitely going to be liking where we're standing, and I would take some more shares in front of VWAP. But until that happens, I don't want to be adding at all, guys. We did get that super chat there, so I want to thank you. If I can find the member there. Alrith Abood? There we go. ENZC. That one's over on the OTC X. I don't know if we have that one in our database to be able to have a quick look at it. But if we get a chance to talk about it, we will try to do that for you there. So thank you very much. We love all the support that we do get. This is what that show was all about. I have to go back to that YALA. I want it to have a nickname like Yala, whatever. I don't know. We'll just go YALA. I was going to wait for 1670. You can see I got my offer over here, but it already bounced off a big time pullback. If it consolidates lower, I'll have to take that consolidation here between 50 and 60. So if it grinds higher, I've canceled my order. If it retests 17, I can always get in up there to the short side, or I'll go short on any sideways action here at 50 to 60. Forget about those 70s. I'd almost prefer that it tests and fails 17. Then I can get a short right in front of that key level.
Yeah. Okay, so Fastly, we're 89. What did I just put? I put the wrong price in there for an out there. 88, we're looking at 88. 89 break there. 89 break back to the downside. That's the level that we're looking at for Fastly. We just let it run to 90, which we sort of thought would be a good out for us there, 90, and we didn't take it. So we're waiting to see if it breaks. So now, if it comes back down $1, we can definitely talk about that. That's for sure. Okay, safety net groups there. Safety group still bouncing around a big high of 31 there. We're in the money on that. We took it out, but now it's back to 10 cents in the money. We should take some out at 30. We'll put a bid there, an offer there, to get that if that does want to go. AMD, we've averaged in a little bit here. Again, we didn't take a huge position. I actually missed the first break, so we averaged back into it there down to the downside. It's small shares again. Just a little nervous about the NASDAQ coming through. So 92.50, we're going to drop AMD if it does come back to the downside there. It's not a huge risk position for us, so we don't have too much to worry about with AMD. But again, I do still think that there is some upside. So that's why we took small here. So we're willing to lose this 30 cents. But wow, AMD now going to the downside. Wow. So we're going to add this one maybe to our negative stock list here. Could be AMD joining that very, very soon. But yeah, Palantir, the big one today for me. Look at that. I go long at 24, then now there's monster size sitting there at 24. So let's see, give it one more shot to see if it can break it. We'll take out of a little bit right now ahead of that 24 and then see if it breaks it and maybe get a little more in there if it does, guys. But here we go. Let's see what Palantir wants to do here again at $24. Yeah,
and so I cannot believe this happened, but I did miss the break on XPEV. It's like 3 times I talked about 49.50. I didn't even get the shares when it broke, down about 70 cents now. I did get Yala here, Y-A-L-A. I gave you guys the reasons why. If it was going to consolidate, I would have taken it. But, you know, once it gives that lower consolidation, forget about that mid-range price. Just get the short when it retests 17. So able to get some at 85 here. You know, you save yourself 10, 15 cents. That matters when you're trying to make 30 to 70 cents on a winning trade. You better believe 10 to 15 is going to play into it. So patience is a virtue. Let it come to you on the market. You also lose less if 17 breaks. I'm risking about 15 cents, pennies plus slippage. I do have another offer. I'm trying to add to this position if I can. I'll take some out in front of 50s. I'll take the rest out in front of that 25 to 30 mark. And then ultimate target would be a break of this 16.25. Hold on to like 10, 20% for a monster flush. Brendan, what's up, buddy?
Big mover from yesterday and then 2 days ago as well. We were talking about this one, ESTC, just popping back up here, 3.8%. Volume coming in at day highs, 140. This is a software company. There was not UBS, but it was UBS Bancorp. Disclosed his stake in this one. There was also a Citigroup upgrade again today. A bunch of analysts talking positively on this Netherlands-based software company, guys.
Okay, we did follow our plan of action there. We got out of some of our trade on Palantir. Long 05s, we took some about 97 there ahead of that the 24. So we do see the size there, and I think that's another benefit of our show versus any other one for sure. Showing you guys everything. These are live trades, real equity positions being put on, and this is live from the NYSE Radar. This is the level 2 screen, and you can actually go down and see all of the different bids here and offers, and this is the bid side, this is the ask. So we do see a parked order there at, oh God. We also see one at, did he move to 02? Okay, what the hell is going on here?
Is that 100K?
Why did he move off there? Something fishy maybe now. He shouldn't have moved off 24. Why would he go from 24 to 24.02? Very, very interesting to me. Okay, there it is. What a surprise there.
You can just call it fake.
Yeah, me too. We just went longer again there at that. So I don't know what that guy was posting that there for. He just got, like, what's the difference if you have that many shares sitting at O's versus 02s? So I don't know, but we're still long now. 204.04. So we took some more shares there going. So the XPEV puts doing well. That's a good one. Curated high. You've been a good member of the show, and thank you so much. ENZC, we will get to this after. Unfortunately, like we just mentioned, it's not in our system. We're not able to trade everything, especially some low float OTC stocks.
Yeah, it is what it is. I got very, very fortunate here on HGSH. 465, that VWAP, it literally turned on a dime. And this is going to happen to you. And it's a little bit lucky because it goes a couple ticks higher. I'm going to be out of that trade. I just got first target at 431, so we will start to take it off here. That's approximately 20 cents, just shy of that in terms of a win. It's got to break through this 420 definitively. Then we're looking at 4 even, possibly that 360 low. I'll be all flat. Yeah. If 360 prints, you know I'll be all flat on this trade. I mean, you got to be taking 70, 80 pennies when you get it on a name like this. YALA did go in the money for me, about 15 cents. I'm looking to take some off if it breaks, maybe like 25 to 30. So a couple of shorts working for now for me. And we forgot to look at AMC. I can't believe that even happened. Wow.
You just said AMC, but we'll do a little backflip here for AMD because there it goes, guys. Bang! Yes, sir. What a good average in on AMD right now. We'll look where we're long 74s, a good trade. We're buying this dip here. Buy with an out of 50. Now we rip to the high side. So there it goes. Nice little move upside on AMD. 93.07. Like, this is the thing. I was too caught up in trading Palantir today. We should have traded what were, some of these other names, but AMD, a nice little 30-cent win right now to go. And then Fastly, still that $4 up, man. We're still waiting on 90. If it breaks 90, We could go again a next leg up 90 and change.
Doesn't matter, Sean. It's never too late to be great. It doesn't. Look, you throw away any mistake you made or any trade that you missed. If you see it come back again, you hit it. If you're licking your wounds because you missed something early on, then you don't get that AMD trade, guys. So that's what being professional is kind of all about. It's just dusting yourself off, getting back up, and making the next trade. And that's what it's all about there. It's also about the European update, which I think I heard in my ear. So let's go to Valeria at the big screen.
Hey guys, European shares are in a very positive territory right now, on the hopes to secure a Brexit trading deal before December 31st. Russia is up 0.7%, Spain is up 0.98%, France is up 0.48%, and Britain is up 1.04%. Brandon mentioned earlier today that Aston Martin's Canadian chairman is talking about electric car possibilities for Aston Martin. The stock is up 5.51% now. Back to the traders.
Literally, as I was typing in the chat, this YLA just holding upside, guys, and it just got me out on 17. So I'll take the hit. We got to add that to the list of this. Oh, actually, no. This is the first stock this week that Brendan's given to me that I haven't had a winner on. But I didn't go long on this, and I feel like I was just thinking to myself, it's so strong. I missed the first pullback. I tried the second one. Look at how well it holds up here. It doesn't even test below that 1650. I don't know where this one's going to go. To be honest with you, there's no obvious levels. Maybe it'll be a 1750. Maybe it'll be a 20 area that you got to look at. At some point, I do want to try the retracement. But I'll walk away from that. You lose about 15 pennies or in change on that name, guys. But it looks very, very strong. It's only gone up 17%, but the buying has been relentless, and you get some volume, which is holding up. That's another sign, guys. The volume is certainly holding up. Even though we're at 11 o'clock, you want it to taper off a little bit more than it did when you're shorting. So maybe I got in just a bit too early, but either way, the setup was nice. It's a tight stop, so we can live with it. HGSH still holding that 425 mark, so it continues to baffle me why it won't fall. Lizzie, again, the 390 buyer, will not break. I'm still short that one too.
I think that's a good word, man. There's been some baffling trades today for sure, for me anyways, and you just used the word, so I guess for you as well. But AMD 9320, what a great out that was, as we're pretty light now on this stock. So we're going to watch out for AMD moving around here again. And yeah, good out. Still using that 9350. 9250, sorry, as an out there, and we'll just trade that through. So we'll wait to see if that breaks. If it does, great. We'll get out. Otherwise, I like AMD to the upside here. The NASDAQ pulling down, AMD going up. So that's always a good indicator for me anyways, that we are probably the right way on this stock. So let's wait to see here if the NASDAQ gets going. This could go again. I probably take a little bit off now that it's coming back up, but you know, good trade. We'll wait to see what the NASDAQ wants to do. I still think we can go higher on this one, guys. Okay, Palantir, back to this stock again. Nothing happening. So we just took a little bit more out. I still think we can break higher. I don't know. Let's go Palantir. Bad Friday so far. Let's see if we can't make it positive again. YQ, did that just IPO, YQ? YQ, what is this stock here on the NASDAQ, I guess? Yeah, 1070. A new IPO here comes out, I guess, at 1050. YQ, what stock is this? 17 Education Tech just came out, 2.7 million. Obviously opens up right here, 1050. I don't know if it tested 10 or not. We do get some dark pool wicks down there, but here's some level 2 size. What's up, B?
It is a Chinese online education company, in case we didn't have enough of those already. But you can see YQ here, 17 Education Technology from China. It's about 27 million. So it was, where'd it go? I just lost it there. $27, 27 ADS shares at 10. So yeah, so a little bit, a tiny education company there, guys, from China.
I tried it once on a tight stop and failed, and Snowflake is gone again. So a 3. Look, I said if it rolled over, I would take a shot at it. I probably should have done it the first time when it didn't get to 380. But when it retested, you see this little entry point here, and then that little out. Now it's breaking out one more time. If this thing gets to 400 today, I'm going to be kicking myself for multiple reasons. One, because I got out of the long. Two, because just the first time I got wicked out of this one, I can't believe that early into the trade. I got wicked out at 350 on a retracement. That should never have happened. But Snowflake wowzers, if Warren Buffett gets involved in IPO, I guess we all know what happens to it. We're finally getting the breakdown in HGSH. So this is working. We'll line that one up and knock it down. I second Sean. I mean, back when we owned our own floor, one of the things we do for a year-end party was like, we get the fancy pants stuff. We went to like Canada's Wonderland one time. We went bowling another time. I'd love to go bowling again, even though I stink at it, like I always say. Finally, we break down on HGSH. Now we can retest or break through this 420. Give me these 10s. Maybe give me a break at 4. Give me something in the 360 to 370 range. I had to be very patient here. The only good trade was pre-market, and then hopefully we've got a good one here. Every other short was a loser. And then now we're back in this one below VWAP. So finally we got a winner here. I don't know, that was a really bad Jim Carrey impression, like Lehu Zahir.
Yeah, that's not bad, actually. Okay, yeah, and no losers here with AMD as it's going back to the high side there. We will take out a little bit at 06 there, and we do that. So that's a good win here for AMD, and good trade. So the two negative stocks we have today, man, Palantir and Boeing. And what's Boeing doing? 230. I mean, I'm glad we got out of that when we did. Very surprising how chill Boeing is today. Wait to see on that one. Fastly still making moves, man. My out's going to be on the break of 89. It keeps stopping at 90. Silly me, but that's fine. We're already in the money at 86. Someone asked me about what's up with DocuSign. DocuSign, we already crushed that stock. So let's look again quickly here on DocuSign. So DocuSign making moves today, obviously off earnings. 5% is a good little level there. If I can break it down to a 3-minute chart, might be a little bit better. We've already took... there he is. A big win here. We were long 247 early, out 251, out 254, basically the high of the day. Now we're bouncing right off these levels. Thank you for bringing this up. I love this trade right here. Get long now and use this bottom, man, 242.50 as a possible bottom for DocuSign. Thanks for bringing it up. I do actually like the look of that trade. Brendan?
Just having a look at C Limited, which is SE. So this is a software company from Singapore that has been recently awarded a full digital banking license in Singapore. So kind of transitioning to more of a fintech than a software company, but digital banks to come in Singapore, apparently in the new year. 9.5% today on that news, guys. All-time highs up here for SE.
I keep saying I have to do this when I get a short setup that pops through an obvious level and then it gives any sign of a failed breakout at this time of day when I like those rollovers, just jump right back into it. So that's what I'm going to try here with Snowflake. It busts 380, comes right up to this 82 and then slams right back down. We're back below that 380 price. I'm able to get it here at 79.35 is an entry price. I think we can give it to around that new high of day. If this one retraces good, I mean, look, this was a $340 stock this morning or at the close yesterday. But let's keep in mind what this thing was doing on the third. Like this just came from 280. It's a $100 move in just a couple of sessions. So I don't think I'm being too greedy, thinking I can get 10 to 15 bucks on a pullback. That seems like a pretty reasonable thing here. So I keep saying I should do this. I finally put it on one of these names. Let's see if we got this one going now. I'll get some out certainly. Between like that 70 to 75 range we talked about earlier. And if we get it down to VWAP, fantastic.
That's a great look because look at the NASDAQ coming back down. So Snowflake, obviously all about tech. So we'll wait to see if that one does break. You guys, we're over on Tesla right now. Yeah, I mean, look, NIO's making moves backside right now. We'll call that up NIO quickly here. That's making a move. I do like a 42.50. Again, I need this to get going a little bit more on NIO. Not 42.50, sorry, 43.50 upside on NIO. But that brings me back over to Tesla. Same type of thing. We make a bottom there at 588. That looks pretty solid there, but I'm looking at a 592 break. So a 592.50 can go. We'll get back in. That's a VWAP again. So this is on a 1-minute chart. If you break it down to a 3-minute chart, it looks just the same there as well. There we go, 592.50. So the VWAP actually the same on both charts, which is kind of strange. But 592.50 looks like a good spot here. Let's just wait to see if some of these EV makers got their wings back into them. But look at this, guys. AMD, big win there as well. 50 cents now in the money on AMD. Good little looking chart here. There we go. Thank you so much to the viewers giving us this one. AMD to the high side and still going, and we have this one. So good little trade for here. Thank you, whoever it was out there. Thank you for that. And again, Neil, you always say it. This is why we like our community. But again, it's just about the ideas. Yep. We're going to help you guys. You help us. And here goes AMD. Thanks for bringing that. Although I did talk about AMD a very first thing on the day here. And you can see it doesn't matter, but there's my 93. We had that. Look how many stars that is there. Where is it there? 93 big time. And then there's that Neo break high. We didn't have that, but we did like AMD 93. So there's the first test of 93. And here we go upside 93.50 right now. Good trade here. Let's see if it can continue.
Absolutely a good trade. And well, it remains to be seen if it's a good trade on Snowflake. The longs have been fantastic, but you know at this time of day, it's 11. It's that noontime move. The parabolic moves have been put in. You start thinking about those retraces. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah. There it is, YLA. Maybe I should have been more patient, but I'm gonna get suckered into that 17 every single time it turns on a dime there. There's a real pullback off of 1762. That's kind of random, so I'm probably gonna miss that every single time. All this said, this trend is still pretty good to the upside. All those pullbacks, you could probably just draw a nice little trend line which hasn't been broken. If you're into that sort of thing, I'm not really. But you can clearly see it is still pulling into that upward trend. This might still have some juice to it, and I still maintain if it breaks through this top again, I'd be looking at 20 even. Some more consolidation in Snowflake. This is not necessarily a bad thing at this time of day. The longer it holds this coil without taking out or making a fresh high, probably the better it's going to be to push to the downside. I do want to have some shares out in the middle of that target range I have, so like $5 to $7 winner, and then we can get maybe that 10 to 15 if it tries to bounce off VWAP or 365 area. So it's been all longs and then a tight stop short, giving it a little bit more room on this short just because of the failure through that 380. HGSH, it's like this stock is on HGH. What's the
HGH, I think it is. Human growth hormone.
There you go. Yeah, I had it right. So it's like it's on steroids, or HGH. Anyways, maybe not so much anymore. I fought this a couple times. The pre-market short was the only good one. Now it's giving me a consolidation right at that 420. It's kind of what you want. If it rolls over here, you're going to be a monster. Get down, Snowflake, get down. It just broke 375, so about $4 in the money here, almost 5. I should probably take some off in this range until we get a further dip. Brendan, what's up?
A bit of a reversal here in this STPK, still 40% to the upside, but volume coming in, you can see on the downside. So we tested day highs there and then reversed on a dime, back below that last little pivot, 1430. That's that new SPAC today, guys, the STEM SPAC.
Okay, the STEM's back there. I forgot about Safety Group here, so we will put another order back. I thought I put one at 30, but I did not. So Safety Group there, nice little long, but we don't have it. We still have it, but we only have 20% left there, so that's going to be a good trade for us. Palantir, you're seeing that in my blotter, but it's not coming out because it's waiting for this breakdown here. What was it again? 23 and change. Let's go back over to Tesla just to see what's going on with that before Palantir it comes back down again. Darn it. That 592.50, we were looking at that one, but we can't get into it because it's not there. So we'll wait for that to come through. 592.50, got to be patient. NEO does fail there again on the upside. So again, it fails that 42.50 level. This is a 3-minute chart. Look, it's pretty nasty. We did have a nice bounce off 41.80, but other than that, this is a nice bounce too, but hard to catch longs when it looks like this on a 3-minute chart. We could find a 1 minute here, but we're well off of VWAP. Every time it tries to go, I feel like it fails, but that's a nice little dollar move. Maybe you can find a bottom at 41.80, but right now, it's not super exciting to me. This should come off very, very soon, fastly. Look how many times it failed upside here at 90. 1, 2, basically 3 or 4 times up here on a 1 minute chart. Even if you count this as 1 time, 2 times, still a fail. Now we're going to break down below. We're going to get out in a couple dimes here if it does truly break 89. So 89.75, 88.75 or so as the bottom here. But fastly, I mean, we can't have a big enough winner for this one. Now $3 in the money. It was 4. Good trade on fastly on the Cisco news. So
it's a monster.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I was going to say here, Sean, if I wasn't short Snow, I would probably be looking to short that one. I think that's a good exit. And that's how you guys should be thinking about it too. Like, exit points for taking profit are probably some entry points for short sellers.
Yes,
I would think, and I think that's why you got to have that bit of a look here. I'm gonna, like I said with Snow here, I'm gonna move my stop. But once I get a first profit take here, I won't give it necessarily to that high of day. I want to lock in some profit. So if it gets back to like this 379 area, I'll get out for basically flat, because I think if it tests it, it'll probably go a little bit higher, grind into that 82 range, and maybe give another shot at it. It's still in the money, but you want to have a plan of action in case things go awry. I feel like I've never said that one, so that's a new one for me. Not a heck of a lot in terms of things that I want to put back on, but I do want you guys to just see Sundial here. I talked about an approach you could have to this stock. Now, of course, I'm in a few more active names than normal, so I'm it's not that I'm staying away from the penny stock. It's just, it's hard to be an active market maker on something like this if you're trading Snowflake and XPeng and all those other names at the same time. But look what's happened. That 69 to 71 range, you could play it all day long. You can get paid to add liquidity if you have direct market access, or you can just make small amounts of growth on large shares. The volume is there. The opportunity was there. That's why I sort of pointed it out. I could have been doing it, but figured there'd be other plays here, especially Snowflake. I feel like it was the right decision. Time will tell.
Yeah, time will tell. And that's the thing. We can't be perfect on all of the trades, and especially on some certain names today that are going to remain nameless as it continues to go down for me there. But Valeria, you're just mentioning in the chat there, we have 7,000 viewers right now, almost 6,000 right now, and we only have less than 2,000 likes. So yeah, so let's get those likes going there. Maybe we'll throw to the camera to Valeria and she can ask.
You can't hit below
it tends to work.
270.
Tends to work a little better, Neil, when she asks.
Yeah.
So we'll wait to see on that one. But here you go, Valeria. Now your time to shine.
Hey guys, yeah, Sean, you're absolutely right. Almost 7,000 of viewers and not even 2,000 of likes. Guys, we really need your support. Please smash the like button if you haven't yet, and I will hit astronaut dance for you. Back to Sean.
Astronaut dance. We like the astronaut dance. You like the astronaut dance. Everybody likes the astronaut dance. So let's get to there, and I think we'll get to there with our next little segment as we are ready to rock and roll here with our guest of the day. Take it away, Brendan.
Hey guys, yeah, very excited once again to have another company profile with us today. This one on the Canadian side of things. You can trade it here in Toronto on the CSE. We're talking about Mountain Valley MD. MVMD, the ticker on the CSE. We have Dennis Hancock with us, President and CEO of Mountain Valley. So glad to have you with us, Dennis. It's an interesting concept. I want to jump right into some of the bases behind the technology the company is working on, because I think it's a great idea. A recently transitioned company towards the healthcare sector and towards the technology side of things for both animal and human. Tell us why.
Thank you. Yes, good morning. Great to see everyone. Yeah, so we have made a massive transition to the business focused on health and wellness. And what's been really cool about our transformation is we're at a point now where we have two, parallel technologies. The company pivoted late in the fall with an acquisition of assets out of a company in New Jersey that essentially became our QuickZone product. And QuickZone, really simply in a non-technical way, is an ability to take complicated molecules, desiccate them down, lay them into rapid oral dissolve formats. And what's really, the opportunities and the lanes we're pursuing that I'll elaborate a little bit in this segment include the idea of eradicating polio. And so I'll describe shortly how we're working with the FDA and doing that. So we've got some really incredible things. And those that understand how drugs are consumed in vaccines today, the reason you want rapid dissolve oral things that cross the mucosa in your mouth is that the digestive enzymes, the liver, the kidney, the things that process drugs and vaccines today, they limit the effectiveness, obviously, in the body. And we have a second technology that was developed that's called QuickSol, and the Zol stands for a solubility. And we've applied this solubility technology on one of what I would describe a wonder drug in the marketplace, ivermectin. And ivermectin is a blockbuster drug that's known to fight parasitics and viral outbreaks. And its number one limitation in being able to be injected into humans is its solubility. So you would have to use harmful organic solvents to make it soluble. And then, of course, it has a trade-off of birth defects and a whole bunch of challenges, not from the drug itself, but from the ability to solubilize it. So we have a technology that has made ivermectin 5,000 times more soluble. And the outcome of that has been transformational. And so now we have these two lanes running, and they're complementary on how we solubilize things to better absorb inside our strip and oral dissolve technologies. But we have this ability now to work on massive human and animal health problems, eradicating polio as an example, eradicating malaria, and everything that we're focused and zeroed in on now is, tens of billions of dollars, and truly has the ability to impact every human and animal on the planet, that we would be able to work effectively to eradicate some of the most crushing things to the planet and the overall health and well-being.
You mentioned a few important things there, and I want to touch on the animal aspect because, I think everyone here has a pet outside of Neil, but
Yeah.
there's a very important combination there that sticks with us as far as being happy, and we'll get to the animal part in a second here, but you're talking about the ability to transfer or transition and get these immunities and get these vaccines out to parts of the world that might not be able to store a vaccine in very, very cold temperatures, but something like, and maybe we can explain the strip aspect of it a little bit further for anyone who's confused. I mean, we may be more, familiar with something like a Listerine strip or a breath strip, something along. That's the type of technology that we're looking at.
Yeah, and it's a good. I want to keep this simple in one sense. The as much as we're not a strip or a powder or a rapid dissolve company, we are the embedded technology that uses those delivery techniques. And yeah, you brought something up that that we're seeing in the news recently around cold chain. And cold chain, most households would never know what that is or have heard of that before, until we've recently seen the Pfizer vaccine for COVID-19, which describes a requirement to be, minus 75 or 80 degrees Celsius. So cold chain is a World Health Organization standard that 90% of the drugs on the planet are manufactured in this 2 degrees to 8 degrees window, and then they have to be shipped and transported right to the point of administration. And as you start to what you alluded to, get to third world countries, 90% of them don't have the electricity infrastructure to effectively navigate cold chain. And so it's a $17 billion plus annual logistic bill for the pharma companies moving, for cold chain storage and all the implications. And then just in the vaccine space alone, over $35 billion a year of vaccines are literally thrown out or disposed of once they come out of cold chain, and they're not deemed safe to use for whatever that target vaccination was for. So that's a $50 billion problem. And how that translates to when you desiccate something and dry it out, you by the very nature make it more stable until it's rehydrated. So the work we're doing with the FDA polio lab, as an example, we've already proven our ability to lay polio into the strip. We've already accomplished, the ability to, at extended lengths of time, to keep our strips outside of the cold chain at very aggressive heat temperatures. You'll hear more about that as we're getting final reports in the coming week. And when you solve that problem, you now can imagine a strip delivered instead of a needle into the market, where you can now orally consume polio, which was not fathomable before.
And Dennis, the obvious question here, and very topical as we've been discussing here, is there a timeline maybe for something to do with COVID when it comes to this type of technology?
Yeah, so that the COVID implications are really are massive, and it really is related to our solubility breakthrough in the patents that we've related to the quicksol. And so again, the limitations of ivermectin in working for something like COVID. I did see a report the other day. There was, I think, 42 separate trials underway on trying to figure ivermectin out. They all stack with the same problem, which is solubility. So how do you inject something in humans? So the amazing thing that we're seeing with our work is that it will now be able to safely be injected into humans. It'll be able to address pulmonary. We've even seen in our internal data that we've now got a point where not only can you inject ivermectin in, it stays stable longer than a normal oral dose or injection. So what happens is It spikes like a cone, drops off out of the body. And when you start to tackle viral outbreaks, so even one example on malaria, and then I'll link this back to COVID, is today, in order to wipe out the mosquito population that transmits, yellow fever and Zika virus and malaria and a host of others, again, billions of dollars of economic and millions of lives a year destroyed by these parasitic viruses that get transmitted. Now imagine being able to safely inject humans, just zero in on one community in Africa, inject the animals, husbandry and companion animals, inject humans, and literally wipe out the feed supply for the mosquitoes. When they draw blood, they take ivermectin in their bodies and it wipes them out, but yet still at a level that's safe. Applying that exact same application to COVID, it's not improbable at all to imagine a thin strip that's given out to 1 million, and let's say in the Greater Toronto area, there's an outbreak. Rather than shutting everything down, you actually shut down the virus by giving everyone a 14-day power kick, if you will, that'll give you temporary immunity from receiving the COVID-19 vaccine. In the absence of a vaccine, sorry. So very, very, we believe that lane will be a laydown, for the type of science that we're working through. The time frame of COVID, we can guarantee there's another COVID coming or a mutation. So, we'll be in that lane as soon as we're able to.
I want to make sure we discuss the animal aspect of what the company is working on, because everyone obviously loves animals, and we want to make sure that we take care of them as well, because it does keep us, positive and keep us healthy as well. So tell us about that aspect of Mountain Valley.
Well, there's a fascinating relationship between animal health and human health. Even over in Denmark, we saw recently with the COVID-19, there was a mutation that was happening to the virus. And the mutation, of course, manifests itself in animals before it gets transmitted back to humans. And so they had to call, I think it was 17 million mink, unfortunately, which is devastating for that industry and the farmers and all of the related side of that. Animal health is critical, and our solubility in ivermectin and selamectin and that whole classification of drugs will be critical in animal health and preventing the spread to humans. And so as people understand the symbiotic relationship that we have, our human health is directly dependent on the health of the ecosystem, if you will, in the husbandry animal and companion animal side.
It's an incredibly interesting technology, and obviously very topical at this time. Dennis Hancock, President and CEO of Mountain Valley MD. A pleasure. I hope you'll come back and give us an update in the future.
Yeah, thanks for having us on. We're really excited about what we're doing.
Our pleasure. Yes, I mean it's a great topic and great time, guys, to be involved in that space. I think, and very important that we kind of highlight those companies that are doing great work to advance the possibility of some sort of mechanism to make it easier for people to take these vaccines, guys.
I mean, great guest, great information there. I see a couple of you guys on the chat there looking to buy some shares, asking what exchange. We had it on the bottom there, right? So good job to Rob and Lucas and Brendan there. It's over on the CSE, so you may not have, depending on your broker, you may not have access to the Canadian Securities Exchange there. It's the CSE, guys.
Absolutely, and what a good timing for it as well. Of course, with the somewhat disappointed with Pfizer there a little bit. Snowflake, wowzers, it looks like it was a good idea to get out of that one at break even, that short. So we stay positive on it, of course, but it continues to push. Maybe it gets to 400. I'd probably take a shot at it if it did, guys. Look, obviously it's been a fantastic day. You guys have been great. I mean, the community, I can't say enough about it, whether it's a love or telling us about some of the
look at this AMD trade here.
Exactly,
this is
right?
94 cents.
Not that you should be missing out on AMD trades in the first place, and need a reminder, Sean. Let's be honest.
Yeah, no.
I know.
I love
kidding,
AMD, but someone did bring it to our attention. I guess it was because this 93 level that we talked about in the pre-market, and they were like, "Oh, it's breaking," and then went and looked at it and averaged in, and it was a great trade.
Exactly, and there've been a lot of good ones today. Whether it's going to be AMD, DocuSign was big time as well, and we had some fun over there letting it snow. But the week is going to be upon us here. There's still an afternoon to trade, obviously, and we'll be right back at it every single day. The market is open. You know we're going to be here for you guys.
Oh, quickly, Neil, before you
yeah.
wrap it up, we got that note from Mark Roberts. He just sent it in. The more vote apparently is happening. So,
okay.
Watch out for some of these cannabis names. Let's go over to ACB just real quick, just because it's topical and don't mean to interrupt the close of the show, but right now it's ACB not doing much. But ears to the ground, guys. Watch the House floor there to see where that vote goes.
Oh, big shout out to Mark. Thank you, Mark, for getting that to us. That's huge, guys. So definitely ears to the ground. I think there might be at least one name in the earnings to get to, so I don't know if we're going to jump back into Brendan for that. No, look, Jinko Solar, I think, does report maybe, so that would be the only one. But as I've said, it's been a fantastic week. We've enjoyed it. Do we have a national day? I know. Look, yeah, you got me at this one, Valeria. Let's see what it is.
Hey guys, another amazing trading week together. Welcome all the new subscribers, all the new members. Thank you very much, guys, for all the love and support. We love you back and your main motivation. I wish you a wonderful weekend. We will see you on Monday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And happy National Cookie Day, everyone. What's your favorite cookie, guys?
Oatmeal raisin. That's what
I like oatmeal raisin too, man. Good call. Okay, we got Oreos in the back there. Valeria, I'm going to ask you what your favorite cookie is.
Chocolate chunk chip cookie. I don't know.
Oh, you might not be able to hear that. She said chocolate chunk chip.
Brendan?
Okay, that's a good one.
Peanut butter all the way, 100%. Peanut butter.
Peanut butter. I think you need a big glass of milk. I think you need if you've got some peanut butter. We just got out of AMD, but good day there. Yeah, maybe I like a little macadamia nut. Let's go with that. Let's go a little unique there with that one. But peanut butter, good call there. Looks like we're a nutty kind of group around here, guys.
Let's get some after the show. Like, I don't know, make a run somewhere and get some cookies because I love them, and I got a soft spot for some pastries. We have a soft spot in our hearts for all of you guys in the community. I hope everyone has a fantastic rest of the trading day and a great weekend as well. Of course, for the entire team, for Valeria, for my man Sean Katina in the good-looking hoodie. He'd always rather be trading. Yep. And my man Brendan Wiggins. Fantastic interview. I'm Neil Roberts. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Trader TV Live, and we will see you next week. Bye, guys.